What's up, beautiful PHP family? Welcome back to another live stream. How everyone is feeling today? It's literally Friday, man. Hope everyone is about to have a good weekend. Bada Bean, what's up, dude? HML is gross. I think it's gross, but it's worse than that, all right? That is even worse than that. So we're chilling. Winnie26, what's up, dude? Nice to see you. How you doing today? I'm doing fantastic. Thanks for asking, man. Ildias is saying the following: good to be here from Nigeria. Welcome, man. Welcome to my live stream. Jarji Day, what's up, dude? Nice to see you. Woni, what's up, dude? Nice to see you. Pick and Flow, thank you so much for becoming a premium sponsor. So always supporting me since day one. I really appreciate you. You are absolutely awesome. Yonis from Morocco, what's up, dude? How downstairs neighbor Wello, what's up, dude? Everyone is feeling fantastic, man. It's awesome. That's awesome. Dinosaur, what's up? Schemer, Luis, nice to see you all. Daniel, what's up, dude? Welcome back, chat. And today, chat, we have an amazing live stream, okay? So recently, I don't know if you guys are aware of this, but recently, Laravel Cloud added support to Symfony on Laravel Cloud, meaning that Symfony developers can actually deploy their apps on Laravel Cloud will just work. Now, we are going to do two things today, okay? Number one, we are going to try Symfony for the very first time in fucking 20 years, man. The last time I've tried Symfony I was even working at Algolia back in the day, so that was a long time ago. And, I barely remember anything, so this will be a new experience for me, and maybe for some of you as well. I don't know if we have experienced Symfony developers on the chat. If you have tried, or if you used, or if you know Symfony, just type yes. If you don't know Symfony, if you are like me, like a newbie on Symfony, just type no, because you are about to discover Symfony for the first time like I am today, okay? So, the only thing I have done so far, went to symfony.com. I have created a repo so we can work together, call it Symfony 8 example. Here we go. Okay, Symfony expert here. I see. We have a couple of Symfony experts. You guys are going to help me out, man, because I know shit about Symfony, okay? The only thing I know about Symfony is that they use Doctrine behind the scenes. They have a bunch of configuration files. That's the only thing I know, okay? So will be kind of new for me, all of this story, okay? And the goal is actually developing a full thing together, okay? So we have Cloud Code, we have GitHub, we have PHP Storm, we have the full thing here to be able to develop an application, okay? And I want to kind of develop a website called phpnews.com, okay? So that's what we're going to do. A phpnews.com website. So we have a landing page with a bunch of articles. We are going to have an admin section. We are going to have an authentication. It'll be awesome, okay? Okay. We are going to develop a PHP News website. So you guys know Laravel News. We are going to do the PHP News, okay? That's the goal, okay? We are going to use Cloud Code. We are going to use PHP Storm, PHP 8.5, all the greatest stuff here, okay? We are going to do some testing. That will be awesome, chat. It will be absolutely awesome. Okay, we have a few people, like most of you guys are also newbies on Symfony, which is good, man, which is absolutely good. Okay, I'm also a newbie on Symfony, so we are going to discover all of this together, okay? Okay. So, chat, before we get started, let's say thanks to our sponsors. And we have a new sponsor. So say welcome to the family, SERP API, chat. And SERP API is basically a service that allows you to scrap Google or any other search engine like Amazon and everything. So you can just basically use this service and pay a monthly fee. And if you do that, you have nice scrapping that you can do to Google. They really just work. They have a bunch of companies that trust them already. Check them out, okay? Check them out. So basically, if you want to kind of query Google, you can use this beautiful API and it really just works, okay? So SERP API for supporting my work. And you guys now can also, I have literally used this product before accepting this sponsorship. And it's legit. It really just works. Check them out, okay? Mailtrap, of course, the company who have this beautiful development email solution. They now have production emails too. Check them out. Mailtrap for the win. Redberry International, the digital agency that works with Laravel. They work with Vue. They're absolutely awesome and fast. Check them out as well. JetBrains International. The JetBrains, of course. You guys know JetBrains, okay? JetBrains is the company behind the beautiful editor PHP Storm. They're absolutely awesome. Titan, of course. They build and rescue web apps and development teams. They are a company behind the book Laravel Up and Running from Matt Stauffer. Check them out, okay? Code Rabbit, of course. If you want to have some nice AI reviewing your code through pull requests, this is your partner. And we have also Devin AI. If you want to offload some tasks through Slack or through Linear, this just works. You just say, Devin, do this, and it will get shit happen, okay? Chat, by the way, we have a new YouTube video. Call it Native PHP, which is, by the way, my best performing video so far on the channel, okay? Native PHP, build mobile applications with PHP and Laravel, and that is something you guys can do for me, okay? If you guys love me, if you guys love my work, the only thing you have to do to support my work is go to this video, watch the video, and if you enjoyed the video, you just have to click on this like button, okay? Literally, takes no time whatsoever, it's free, you just click on this beautiful like button, and that's it. That's the only thing I'm asking, okay? You rock, you have more sponsors than an important soccer team. Thank you, Roberto. Inso is saying the following, my agent is better for code reviews. That's right, your agent can also do code reviews. Bada-boom, bada-boom, bada-boom. What's up, Symfony lovers? Welcome to the chat, by the way. Chat, if you just arrived, my name is Nuno Maduro, PHP and Laravel developer. I'm also a Laravel core team member, trying for the first time in 10 years. Symfony, okay? I'm going to try Symfony for the first time in 10 years. I don't even know what to expect, but this will be an awesome live stream, hopefully. And at the very end, we are going to deploy this Symfony application on Laravel Cloud. And with any luck, this will just work. Okay? With any luck. All right, let's get started. You guys excited? I'm excited. Type yes if you're excited. I'm super excited, okay, chat? Insanely excited here. Ba-da-boo, 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 ba-da-boo. Let's go. All right, so let's open the Symfony.com website. This is the website, by the way, guys, in case you guys want to check it out. Okay, check it out, Symfony.com. Build with confidence at any scale. What we can do with Symfony, build web apps, I suppose. Yeah, web application development, also CLI development. Actually, I do think that for developing CLI applications, Symfony console component is actually the most powerful on the planet. Okay, so it really just works. We can also develop APIs, apparently, with Symfony. They have 36 billion downloads, okay? They also power a bunch of these PHP ecosystem frameworks, okay? They power frameworks like Magento. They also power some of the components in Laravel. So, massive respect for Symfony, by the way. I have massive respect for the people behind the Symfony world, okay? And today, we are developing a web app. So, the only thing I have done so far is run this command, okay? Okay, so when you start a new Symfony application, you can actually, there is actually multiple paths you can take, okay? I have taken the path of using the Symfony CLI, okay? So the Symfony CLI is something that you install globally via Brew, for example, and then suddenly you have access to this beautiful Symfony CLI application, okay? This is basically the artisan or the Laravel CLI that we also ship at Laravel, okay? And obviously with the Symfony CLI, you can do multiple things, including starting a new project, which is exactly what I have done. I have typed this thing, call it Symfony New, phpnews.com, -- version 8, because we want to use the Symfony 8 version, -- web app. Now, I'm not super familiar between the difference between using this flag or not using this flag, but I have used this flag because it tells me that I'm creating a traditional web application. So I want controllers, I want views, so we are going to use that, okay? Drupal is also powered by many of the Symfony components, that's right. Okay, CVTML is saying, but don't use -- version, but use -- web app. Yeah, that's what we have used so far. Okay, so I just went to the console and I have typed this command. Okay, and the outcome is the following. Okay, this is the outcome that I got when I've typed Symfony new application. Okay, now there is a few things here that immediately are different from Laravel. I don't think they are bad or good, they are just different. And I want to tell you guys something very important when working with web frameworks. Web frameworks, at least the good ones, okay, at least the good ones, shots fired to some of the JavaScript frameworks we see out there, at least the good ones, they come with a few things out of the box. I expect to find here authentication, caching, database layer. So I expect kind of the basics to be built in on this framework, okay? Laravel comes with that. I expect Symfony to equally come with that. And honestly, if you choose a web framework, just choose a web framework that comes with all of this shit, okay? And many of the good web frameworks, they come with that, okay? We're talking about Django, we're talking about Rails, Symfony, of course, I expect to come with that too, and Laravel comes with that as well, okay? Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Gillo Duarte is saying the following. If you use without the web app, it installs the application with minimal files as possible. That's interesting, okay? So what Gildo Duarte is saying is that because I have used the -- web app, it came with a bunch of little folders that it might not be necessary if I'm building a CLI app, okay? But of course, because I'm building a traditional web app, I can see already many of the folders I would expect, like controllers, entities, and shit like that. Okay, thank you, Gildo, for that feedback. I really appreciate. Inso is saying, Nuno, be careful. Symfony is very powerful. Oh, thank you, thank you. I will be careful. Coding Bat is saying the following. I am junior and Symfony lover. This framework is so cool. CLI is so powerful. It's so easy and fast to build things. Boom, boom, bada boom, bada boom. So web app is not the default. Well, apparently, let's go back to the documentation, okay, chat? By the way, this stream will be slow, intentionally. It might take more than expected, because the goal is that we learn Symfony. The goal is not that we just build something and just deploy it, okay? So we are going to take our time to understand all of the options here, and I hope you guys appreciate and also want that pace. So apparently... Here says the following. Run this command is actually the very first one if you are building a traditional web application, which is exactly what we are doing. So I'm going to run this command with -- web app. This is what I have done so far. And of course, all the way down, if I'm building a microservice or a console application or an API, okay, so if you guys want to build an API, you just run this command, but without -- web app. Okay, now this is with the Symfony CLI. You can also use, if you want to, apparently, the composer create project thing. Okay, just like you can do this with the Laravel as well. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. Let's go back into the PHP Storm. I kind of want to see some of the files that got created here, okay? I want to kind of compare the folder structure with Laravel, if I can, because it's the only thing I can compare with, okay? How the Symfony DI work like Laravel, I expect the Symfony container to work exactly like the Laravel one. So I expect auto resolution by default, and, well... hopefully I don't have to fucking specify every single thing that can be injected, and it will just work. I do expect that. Okay? Okay. Eltreba97 is saying the following. Wait, by web app you mean REST API? No, I mean a web app with views, with layouts, with controllers, with Twig, with all that shit. That's what I do expect. Okay? CVTML is saying that the container works exactly like Laravel, one-to-one. So, that's what I was expecting as well. Okay? That's what I was expecting. Now, let's take a look at the files we have here. So we have this file called assets. Okay? Assets, which is basically JavaScript files. In Laravel, you find this under resources, JavaScript. So, just a different directory for the assets. We have bin. Okay, so apparently all the CLI or their artisan is placed at bin console level. So I can type here like this, I expect. Here we go. So bin console -- version displays Symfony 8.0.5, and this is the equivalent of artisan. We also have PHP unit. That's a great, weird thing. Why do we have PHP unit at this level? Interesting. I would expect PHP unit to be just at vendor bin PHP unit level, though. Okay, I'm confused. I'm not really sure what this thing does differently. Oh, it does nothing differently. It just requires PHP unit. Okay, got you. Yeah, I don't really understand why do we have this PHP unit here. I would expect to access PHP unit through vendor bin PHP unit, but, Bada boom, it's just for the CLI, got you. Just an alias, basically, right? It's not like we have to use it, but... Alright, shit. 100 people on YouTube. YouTube people, go all the way down and click like on this video. It's super important so we can show the world how cool PHP is, okay? So everyone, YouTube people, just stop what you are doing. Go all the way down and click like on this video and subscribe the channel if you are enjoying this content today, okay? That's really important. It also means the world to me. Biddy-boo, biddy-boo, biddy-boo. So we have a couple of alias to use on the console. Okay, easy peasy, lemon squeezy. We have a bunch of configuration folders currently, okay? Now, this is one of the little things that I was kind of expecting to find on Symfony, and I kind of don't really like. I don't like the fact that we have just a bunch of configuration files just being published on my app. So, you know, I kind of would like Symfony to just have this at vendor level, you know, because I don't really care about these options in their defaults, you know. But yeah, we have a bunch of configuration files for the messenger component, for the monologue, which is logging, for the notifier, which is apparently emails and Slack and shit like that. What else we have? We have routing, security, a bunch of stuff here being published by default, including the Twig configuration as well. Okay, so this is equivalent of the config app.php, database.php, like those files that you typically see on Laravel. Symfony have the same thing, but under the YAML file. And this is actually a good question for you all. What do you guys personally think about .yaml files? If you like it, type yes. If you don't like it, type no. I am okay with YAML. I am okay with YAML, even though I think I prefer .php because I'm just used to it, okay? But yeah, they use .yaml files for configuration. Okay, we see a few may, we see a yes, we see a YAML sucks, we see a no, okay. Luis Cruz is saying the configuration files in Laravel are more cleaner. Yeah, you know, it's also like what you are used to. You know, and this is just, we are in our comfort zone, and immediately if someone just gives you a YAML file and you haven't seen it yet, you will think, fuck, that sucks. But the reality is that probably like the Symfony people are super okay with this, you know? It's okay, YAML, okay. Yeah, so the difference here, chat, is that, yeah, Symfony uses YAML, Laravel uses .php files. One interesting thing here is that we equally see a couple of PHP files at this level too. That's interesting, though. That's interesting. So there is a couple of PHP files here as well. Okay? A couple of PHP files. I don't know exactly what they are doing. I assume what they are doing here is that they allow me to configure how do I want to use bundles. By the way, bundles means packages in the Laravel world, okay? So Symfony have this approach of calling bundles their packages. So if you were to compare with Laravel, a bundle would be like Socialite or Octane or, you know, like our packages, but they call it bundles. Okay? So that's all good. What else we have? So let's close this stuff. Okay, that's a configuration folder. We have migrations, okay? Migrations being placed at root level, while in Laravel, we have database migrations. So that's all good. We have the public folder, which comes with the index.php file, so that's all good. We have controllers, entities. Now, one really interesting thing here, chat, is that the way they namespace controllers is without the S, without the plural. So in Laravel, you see app controllers or app HTTP controllers, and you see app HTTP models or whatever being plural. And on Symfony, they have this in the singular way. So there is no controller, there is controller, an entity, and repository, okay? And that's actually the first thing I want to do is create a new controller. What else we have? We have templates, which in Laravel, it's placed at resources views. Here, it's placed at root level. We have tests, which we don't have a single test, so we have to work on that. We have translations. We have var. Interesting. They take the Linux approach to place all of the temporary folders, like shit like logs and shit like that, and caching and everything. That's very interesting. Very, very interesting. Bundle is a package, not a plugin, okay? The battle is Eloquent versus Doctrine. Totally different things, okay? So Eloquent is active record. Doctrine is data mapper. We can talk about this once we start using those two projects here today, okay? Tabs in YAML are a little bit annoying, lol. Tabs? What do you mean by tabs in YAML? Oh, like the giving a space for the configuration. Got you. All right, chat. Let's move forward. We have var, we have vendor, we have a couple of .env files. So this is a kind of expected. We have a .env for the current thing. We have a .env just for development, and we have a .env for testing. Expected. Composer.json. Okay, composer.json. So all of the Symfony little components being explicitly set here. This is interesting. Laravel does another approach instead, which is just Laravel framework. And that package framework thing just includes all of the little packages inside. Okay. What else we have? Bada boom, bada boom, bada boom. Doctrine, which is their data mapper implementation for the database. What else we have? We have Twig, which is Laravel Blade, going all the way down. And we have all the polyfills, interesting. Bada boom, bada boom, bada boom, bada boom. I think that's it. They choose PHP unit as testing framework, which is okay. And a couple of other Symfony components for local development, okay? Browser kit, which is probably like Past4 or Laravel Dusk. Stopwatch, web profiler. Okay, that's interesting. I think that's it. It's time to move forward. It's time to actually create our first controller. Let's do that, all right? You haven't used Symfony since 2015? Well, welcome to the club. Same thing. I haven't tried Symfony for a while. By the way, chat, I really appreciate we have more than 100 people watching the live stream. Go all the way down and click like on this video. Insanely important, okay? Insanely important. Let's create our first controller. That's the first thing we are going to do, okay? So I'm going to go here, and I'm going to just say the following. I'm going to type here, sure, first commit. So basically just committing the skeleton that got proposed to me when typing Symfony new app, okay? Nothing really crazy. And let's just commit this stuff to main. Again, this repo is open source. Let me just share it to you real quick. Symfony 8 example. Here we go. Right here. Easy peasy. First commit. Easy peasy. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. So this is really right here. Let's go back into the console. Let's actually create our first controller. That's the first thing I want to do. Let me place this right here. Here we go. So bada boom, bada boom, bada boom. Let's go all the way down. Set up that shit. I don't care about that. Running Symfony applications, okay? Running Symfony applications. So in production, you need to use a web service like Nginx or Apache, blah, 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 blah. But locally, use this little thing called Symfony Server Start. Let's use that, okay? Let's go here. Go all the way up and just open a new tab real quick and type Symfony Server Start. That's starting a web server locally for me. Okay, a web server locally. I'm going to go all the way up. And apparently this web server is running on PHP 8.5. And here I can just copy this, open on the browser, and hopefully we see Symfony 8, bada boom, really just works. And nice welcome page, by the way. I like this welcome page. What do you guys think? It's okay, right? This is the equivalent of artisan serve, exactly. The .env file got included on Git? That's weird. If that happened, that's weird. Wait, what? That's not... Maybe like this is a Symfony thing? That's not expected. Oh, the .env file, maybe it's like expected to be included, but not the .env.local. This must be a Symfony thing, you know? So what they have here is that the .env.local is not included, but this one gets included. That's really weird, by the way. Well, maybe it's not weird, because if you want to run this on the CI, you kind of need this .env.test. Yeah, I don't know. This must be a Symfony thing. Let's just ignore it for now, I think. Hit that like button. Exactly, Dominosaurus. Hit that like button. By the way, chat, if you just arrived, my name is Nuno, PHP and Laravel developer, trying Symfony for the first time in 10 years. If you are enjoying today's live stream, go all the way down and click like on this video. Insanely important. Also subscribe to the channel if you want to see this number going up. You see this number? It will go up if you subscribe to the channel. All right, so we got the Symfony welcome page. Your application is ready. Thank you, thank you. You are seeing this home page because the homepage URL is not configured and debug mode is enabled. Create your first page to replace a placeholder. Create your first page in Symfony. Oh, interesting. Create a page router and controller. Suppose you want to create a lucky number route that generates a lucky, random number and prints it. To do that, just create a controller class and the number method inside it. All right, I'm going to just copy this and I'm going to go into this controller thing. I'm going to create this lucky controller.php file. I'm going to place this. Okay. What is this? Oh, I want to wait. What? PHP Storm. I'm using PHP 8.5. What do you mean? What the fuck? Let's fix this real quick. Oh my god. PHP Storm. Come on. Let me click on that place without any problems. Can I? PHP Storm, you are disappointing me now a little bit. Would be really cool if you allow me to click here. Jesus Christ. Can I type PHP version? Let me see. PHP version. Of course I cannot type PHP version. Jesus Christ. All right, let's just do this for now. What happens if I do read-only class? Will PHP Storm complaining too? Of course. More actions. Switch to... What the fuck? Oh my god, leave me alone. PHP is so bad nowadays. It's not bad. No, PHP Storm is the goat, man. You just have some weird shit sometimes, okay? Everyone have weird shit. Honestly, I'm trying to switch to PHP 8.5 and I cannot. I'm gonna use a PHP like a PHP 5 thing, so then I can switch to that. More actions. Switch to PHP 4. All right, let's just keep this for now. Jesus Christ. Bada boom! It's not in the Composer. Oh, really? No, Composer is already on PHP 8.5, hopefully. Oh, we want to be on PHP 8.5, chat. Here we go. All right, so we're good to go. We are creating a random lucky controller real quick. So that's just working. Now, how do I cable this on the routing thing? Of course, it's the next piece of the documentation. I just use this route thing all the way top, bam, 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 and then I use this attribute. Chat, I'm gonna tell you something, okay? I'm gonna tell you something insanely important, okay? I kind of wish that in Laravel, we would use this shit too, okay? I honestly don't understand why the Laravel community is so connected to the fucking routes.php file when something like this is just so much better. Okay, I have done a pull request literally a couple years ago to Laravel, and the community just put a bunch of thumbs down because they like the routes.php. So maybe let's see what you guys think. Okay, if you prefer the attributes approach, type attributes. If you prefer the routes.php file like we have on Laravel, type routes.php file. I like attributes, but I want to see what you guys think. Okay? Boo, boo, boo. Yeah, I think attributes, everyone loves attributes, man. You know. Everyone loves attributes. I love attributes too, man. We need to revisit this at Laravel because attributes are goats, you know? Oh, we see a few people preferring routes.php. Now, there is a question, though, about attributes, which is if you want to apply like a group middleware, for example. So you have a bunch of controllers and you want the entire folder to be under a middleware. That is a question that potentially we could make here. You know, like how the hell do I do that even with attributes? So maybe both is actually a good approach, like Ricky is saying. That's true. That's true. Maybe like both is the correct approach here. So I just have done that. Now, it would be kind of cool if Symfony would automatically just work from this point. Okay, so let's go here into the lucky number and see if we see a lucky number on the browser. Okay, so the only thing I will do is this. Look at that! Lucky number 97. Fuck yeah. Really just works. Nice, nice, nice. So Symfony apparently automatically will, through this attribute, we'll just understand this. So we'll scan the controller folder and just do that for us. That's cool, man. WSymfony, chat. WSymfony. What else we have? Oh, what do we have here? What is this shit? Oh my god. Is this like Laravel debug bar? This is Laravel debug. Holy shit, this is big. Oh, this is called Symfony Profiler, chat. Wow. 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 That's badass, by the way. This is badass, chat. Wow. Wow, that's a lot of shit. No calls to validator were collected. That is forms, exceptions, cast, translation, security, HTTP client, Doctrine, debug, messages, emails, notifications, and serializer. Wow, this is not bad, I must say. Okay, this is pretty cool. Can I see the queries that got made and shit like that? That's not bad. That's not bad at all, honestly. Wow, and I can also see all of this shit. I wonder if I have an exception. Let's throw an exception, chat, real quick. Throw new, subscribe this channel if you are enjoying the stream. Okay, so I'm going to throw an exception that does not exist. I expect this to literally just throw an exception. Let me just close this. Lucky number. Okay, attempted to load class, subscribe this channel if you are enjoying the stream from namespace. So this does not exist. So this is the equivalent of the page we have on Laravel 2. But we also have this thing all the way down, which allows me to debug the exception. That's interesting. We can see the logs, where it came from, all of the shit. All right, chat. W Symfony Profiler. Okay, everyone typing W Symfony Profiler because this is actually cool. Okay, I think like in terms of taste, it could be a little bit more appealing, in terms of more beautiful, but in terms of functionality, it's there. Everyone, Symfony, W Symfony Profiler, okay? Xdebug inside, what do you mean? Wait, what? No, I don't have Xdebug. It would be cool to have Xdebug inside, but we don't have that. We don't have that. Okay, so props to this shit. This shit is cool, by the way, okay? This shit is cool. All right, what else we have? So I just throw an exception. That's working. Bada boom, bada boom, bada boom. What else? Let's go all the way up and see what else gets suggested to try it out. By the way, Shad, we need to talk about this AI mate thing. So I was just literally opening links and shit like that, and I was wondering, okay, maybe we are going to use Cloud Code to develop this project, but does Symfony have some sort of Laravel boost? Now, I opened this Symfony AI Mate, and I need you guys, the Symfony experts, to explain me. Is this the equivalent of Laravel boost? Like, will this just make my Symfony developer better if I use the Mate component, my Symfony development experience better? It's not like Boost, it's more like Laravel AI SDK. Oh, that's interesting. Oh, okay. So I don't need this. I don't need to install this shit, right? Because when I went all the way down, I'm going to explain to you why do I think this is like Symfony Boost or whatever. Because when I went all the way down, I see a thing called, here we go, Symfony Bridge, okay? And apparently, like, if I install this, it will deliver container introspection in profiler data tool. Okay, so no needed. Okay, chat. You guys don't think I need this thing? Okay, let's not install this then. Okay, well, RIP Symfony Mate. I don't know what this is, but apparently it's not necessary. I guess. Okay, let's just close this. Okay. All right, next step. Bada boom, bada boom, bada boom. How to install packages and shit like that. I think it's the time. This is the time to just explore one more few things. I want to kind of talk about this Symfony check requirements. So basically, before running that Symfony new app, I have run this thing called Symfony check requirements, and apparently this will tell me if my PHP installation is kind of ready for Symfony. And I got this win message telling me that we are good. What else we have? We have this PHP bin console about. Let's run this real quick to see the output. Okay, tells me a little bit about my application. Similar, probably very similar to PHP Artisan about. Tells me the Symfony app I'm using. When it comes to the end, blah, 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 blah. Kernel shit. We don't care about any of that. All good, all good, all good. And this, we have tried it already. All right. So it's time to kind of start developing the application, I think. I'm going to just discard this file because we no longer need it. Why do we have 4 changed files? My GitHub UI is just getting broken. Here we go. Okay. So we're good to go. We don't have anything here. The next step is actually using Cloud Code and make sure. Let me just move this to PHP 8.5 real quick. Sure, uses PHP 8.5. Bam, bam, bam. Commit this shit. Go back. Let's open Cloud Code and let's actually go into plan mode. And this is just the hard reality, chat. People just use Cloud Code all the time to develop apps right now, and this stream will be no different from that, okay? So we are going to jump into plan mode, kind of have a nice plan, explain AI that we are learning Symfony, so we want to go slowly but surely, and at the same time, we just go insanely slow, okay? So what we need here, let me just open here my notes real quick, so I don't forget anything. All right, so let's say the following. We are building together a website, call it phpnews.com, okay? At the same time, we are learning Symfony 8. So be sure to explain all of the tech options you take on this project. Regarding the plan, I want you to execute the plan very slowly. Be sure to ask me for validations of the steps before moving to the next step. I want to check all files. What else we need? So we need front end. So of course, for the front end, by the way, does Symfony people are super into Tailwind CSS? This is just a yes, right? Like Symfony people, just say that to me. We are using Tailwind CSS for this shit, right? Just confirm to me, by the way. Okay, I would really appreciate that. I mean, I hope so, right? I hope everyone in Symfony world is like into Tailwind CSS. Develop an app that earns a Lambo. Oh my god. All right, so apparently everyone is using Tailwind CSS. So let's just say the following. The front end should be using... By the way, what we're going to use for the front end? I think I want to use Twig, but I want to make sure we are in the right pace. So I went to this Symfony UX page, and apparently on Symfony, there is multiple UX options. So we can obviously go to React, we can go to Vue.js, we can go to Svelte, but there is also other stuff here which got me a little bit confused, like live components, we see Turbo, we see Stimulus, and we see Twig components. I was thinking about using Twig, like back in the days, which is the equivalent of Laravel Blade. So what do you guys think? I think we should go for Twig and just Twig in Tailwind CSS, like keeping it stupidly simple. Mazoneka is saying that Twig is like Blade with some changes. Yeah, I think we should go for Twig. Start with Twig? Okay, let's go Twig. Okay, Twig. So let's say the following to Cloud Code. The front end should be on Twig plus Tailwind CSS. Include Tailwind CSS via CDN. So I don't want a JavaScript pipeline here. We don't want JavaScript chat. WTwig, yeah, exactly. WTwig, WSimplicity, fuck a JavaScript pipeline. We don't need that, okay? We don't need that. We may use Stimulus at the end, but after, at the end. So someone in the chat is saying that Twig, Turbo, and Stimulus can achieve stuff like React and Vue. Yeah, I think I don't want to kind of pretend that I know what I'm talking about, but I believe Symfony have their own Livewire shit, okay? I mean, Livewire, you guys may think that Livewire is like totally new and whatever, but these frameworks, they also have their Livewire shit, okay? So Symfony have their Livewire, probably like Turbo or Stimulus, this will be Livewire behind the scenes, I don't know. But like on other frameworks, they also have their own Livewire version as well. Yeah, Stimulus is their Livewire. Yeah, I was kind of expecting that, Livewire is dope, of course, but what else? Bada-boo, let's go back. So the front end will be on Twig, Tailwind CSS, include Tailwind CSS via CDN. What else we need? By the way, TikTokers, what's up? Nice to see you all, man. I'm sorry, I was not paying attention, but welcome to the live stream, okay? So, auth-wise, we don't need a register form. Create the admin via console command, accepting email and a password. of course, allow via /login this admin to log in. Okay, I think that's it for auth. Yes. What else? What else we need, chat? What else we need here? So we have that. Ba-ba boom, bada boom, bada boom, bada boom. The admin can create articles, can edit articles, can delete articles as well. So what else we need here? And I think that's it. Yep. And don't use Docker. Don't use Docker. Very important, chat. This is probably... Oh, by the way, we also need logout. Plus logout. Don't use Docker. This is a very important one, chat, okay? If we want productivity, if we want to be fast and move like... don't use Docker, okay? Just don't. For the database, use SQLite. However, in production, we are going to use PGSQL version 18. Okay, we're going with SQLite. Keep it stupidly simple, okay? Okay. Forget password? Yes, I forgot No, I didn't forget the password. It's at the end. You probably cannot see it. It's right there. Let me show you. Here we go. You guys can see it now? What is easy admin? I think like if easy admin is the equivalent of Filament and Nova and whatever, I don't want to use it because I kind of want to build it myself, the backend. I understand that easy admin may give me like fucking productivity under the hood on the admin side, but I kind of want to keep it simple, if you guys don't mind, and kind of build the backend myself so I can learn in the process. Is that okay? Type yes if it's okay, chat? Type super yes. WES if you guys think it's okay. I'm doing fantastic. By the way, chat, we have more than 150 people watching this live stream. Insanely important, chat. Stop everything you are doing. Go all the way down and click like on this video, but also subscribe to the channel to see this number going up, okay? If you subscribe to the channel, this number is going up. It will be awesome. Okay. Bada boom, bada boom, bada boom, bada boom. So don't use Docker. Use SQLite, of course. That's an insanely productivity tip. What else? Bada boom, bada boom, bada boom. I think we're ready, chat. Did I forget anything? It's not like we cannot do it later, but did I forget anything or are we good to go? Now, very important thing, chat. This is a master class in terms of productivity with Cloud Code. When you prompt for something like this, you always want to be on plan mode. You see this thing right here all the way down? Plan mode, super important, okay? So we ask AI, but she will deliver to us a plan and we validate the plan, okay? We validate the plan. So AI will start just moving through the code base. Here we go. We just allow everything. Yes, you can read. Yes, you can read. Yes, you can find. We just allow everything. It's just exploring the code base, getting familiar with Symfony 8 and with the current existing files. But then we are going to validate the plan and kind of also validate files one by one using this GitHub UI desktop situation. Okay? Okay, let's take a moment to read the chat while AI is cooking. So AI is cooking as we speak, okay? As we speak. And we are going to validate every single file AI will output, okay? Let's see how AI will solve this. Hopefully we will solve this very, very, very slowly, okay? And I kind of forgot to tell AI that I'm learning Symfony 8, I think. So, what's up, chat? Mateus Guimarães, nice to see you. Simin, what's up? Nice to see you as well. Learn the basics and use AI to generate the compose.yml file if you have it too. Bada boo, bada boo, bada boo. Let's cook it, man. I'm so ready. So what we want to build today, by the way, chat, if you just arrived, is a phpnews.com website, okay? And we are using Symfony 8, okay? Symfony 8 for the win, okay? We just saw the Symfony profiler situation, which is, in my opinion, the best thing I've seen so far. Okay, I don't know what you guys think, but in my opinion, this Symfony profiler situation, it's indeed the best thing I have seen so far, okay? Looks really badass, if I'm going to be honest with you. So, I don't know who have developed the Symfony profile thing, but props to them, okay? Props to them. Bada boom, bada boom, bada boom. Shit, today I went 5 times to the gym this week, man. I'm feeling so strong, man. Like, so strong. Tired at the same time. Try the Symfony console as well. Dude, I have actually developed something called Laravel 0, which is on top of Symfony console. Okay, I'm very, very familiar with the Symfony console component. I'm also familiar with the fact that it's one of the best components out there. Okay. Okay, so AI is still cooking. It's thinking. It's thinking. Gate and policy stuff is handled via YAML.configuration file. In Laravel, I'm not fan of policies or gates. Okay, I don't know what are gates and policies on Symfony, but if they look like Laravel, I don't like them. Okay. Symfony profile, Metotech is just saying, Symfony profiler has at least 6-7 years with that design. Yeah, I think the design is the only thing I would change here, okay? The design of Symfony profiler is not super appealing. I think this is like fucking 10 years old in terms of, in terms of being pretty. It's 6-7. Let's go. 6-7 chat. Here we go. I agree with 6-7, man. My nephew is just saying that shit all the time. I'm still yet to understand what does mean. What does mean? By the way, chat, we have a new YouTube video about native PHP. If you want to build mobile applications with PHP and Laravel, check this video out. I would really appreciate that. If you enjoyed the video, just click on this like button. Fucking takes no time whatsoever, and it would mean the world to me. Okay, it's still planning. Holy shit. Cloud Code is taking a while, okay? It's taking a while. Probably getting familiar with Doctrine and shit like that. That's why Boost is so important on Laravel. Kind of speeds things a little bit. So, but let's see how it goes. Let's see how it goes. The profiler has at least dark mode. It does? Were we in dark mode, though? Oh, we are on dark mode. Okay, that's interesting. That's interesting. Can someone explain me what 6-7 means? We don't know. That's the whole point, is that nobody knows. Okay, but my nephew is just saying that shit all the time. Still yet to understand. Let him cook. Let him cook. Let's see what Cloud Code is doing. Yeah, still cooking, chat. By the way, again, the plan was that we give Cloud Code the plan. It will deliver the plan to us, and then we go step by step, reviewing every single change of this plan, okay? We are going to walk through Doctrine, okay? Doctrine versus Eloquent. We are going to walk through the controller situation. We are going to see the container situation, the Twig stuff. We are going to see all of that in detail, okay? This won't be like just do it and push, okay? We are going to dive into all the small details, okay? Now, regarding the skeleton, I'm gonna be honest with you. That is one thing that immediately triggers my OSD, which is the fact that controllers don't have the S situation, okay? So the controller folder is singular instead of being plural. That triggers my OS, just fucking triggers me a little bit. So here I would expect this to be controllers and entities and repositories, because there is multiple files inside. But not crazy, but something to consider, okay? Something to consider. I think maybe I can just change this, honestly, but I don't know. 6-7, I guess. 6-7. All right, let's go back here and see how it goes. Still cooking. This is taking a little bit. Taking more than 5 minutes already. Why do you don't like profiles and gates? So I like profiles. I don't like gates and policies, okay? Okay. Showtopper is saying the following: watched your last video and saw UUIDs. Why this is not the default? Yeah, UUIDs should be the default on any Laravel app, but also like Symfony apps. UUIDs for the win, chat. They are fast, they are time sortable, they are indexable. It's just the best thing in the planet. UUIDs by default, okay? In my opinion, Eloquent gives 20-0 to Doctrine. Well, that's a matter of taste. I agree with you, but, that's a matter of taste, I guess. Okay. The controller namespace feels better? I don't think so. Controllers, though, it does feel better. Why UUID when security is not an issue? Is that a benefit? There is multiple benefits on UUIDs. I'm going to make a full video about that topic, okay? I'm gonna make a full video about that topic. Cloud Code is fucking going hard on this shit, man. Oh my god. It's still thinking. I'm wondering if just broken. Let's wait a little bit more, okay? I took your prompt saying I want to read every file too, literally. Role-based access controls. Yes, I'm familiar with that shit. pickandflow.cloud.symfony. What is that, Pick and Flow? I'm going to copy the link. What is that? What is that? Holy shit. What is this shit? Symfony concept map for Laravel developers. Click on notes to compare. Oh? Oh, it's kind of explained in a very graphical way. What is entity manager? What is repositories? What is entities? That's interesting. All right, chat, is Cloud Code over? I was not expecting Cloud Code to take this. Oh, excellent research done. Now let me write the final plan. So that was still researching. Jesus fucking Christ, Cloud Code. I'm using, by the way, Cloud Code for 4.6, okay? Opus 4.6, okay? And for the plan, we kind of want to be in this way. We want to be on this, the latest and the greatest model. By the way, meanwhile, type on the chat which model are you using at the minute. I'm using Cloud Code Opus 4.6 and, happy with it. Happy with Cloud Code in general. But let me know what you are using at the minute. Oh my God, it's ready. It's almost ready, chat. It's almost ready. The graph made me more lost. All right, chat, we got it ready. Let's go all the way up and see what we have here. We may have a few things to adjust, okay? We may have a few things to adjust, okay? So in terms of context, we are building phpnews.com, so all that shit, blah, 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 blah. PHP 8.5 with Doctrine, Twig, security form, validator, asset mapper in Maker, okay? This will give us the opportunity to walk through all the full thing. The goal, a public-facing news site with an admin created via CLI, we can log in and manage the articles. This is exactly what we want. No Docker, SQLite for dev, PGSQL 18 for production, Tailwind CSS via CDN. Step 1, database configuration. So this is step 1, which is using SQLite for dev, blah, 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 blah. Symfony loads.env for defaults, and then .env.local for local overrides. Chat, this is exactly what we talked about, okay? So apparently Symfony have the .env for defaults, so that's why we see the .env being committed. One of the very first questions you guys had is, why are we committing the .env file? The reason why we are committing the .env file on Symfony is that the .env file on Symfony is meant for the defaults. Okay, if you want to have different things locally, you must have a .env.local, which I assume in production this will be .env.production. Okay. So in terms of defaults, it will change the .env to SQLite, which is a local database under var data.db. Okay, we are going to equally configure doctrine.yaml file. This is looking good, by the way. This is looking good so far. Okay, I'm going to kind of intentionally ignore step 2, step 3, step 4 in XYZ because I want to check this later. Okay, so I'm going to say the following. Okay, I'm going to say the following. Execute the step 1 and stop and ask me for validation when you are done implementing this step. Okay, after, explain me the next step before you execute it, okay? So I'm gonna type enter so we can update the plan, I think so, and then we execute the step 1, okay? It's kind of a mental shift. I'm gonna be honest, I don't like the .env to have defaults. I think this should belong to the configuration file. Just my opinion, okay? Chat, we only have 25% of the context being used so far, so what we're going to do is move forward without cleaning the context. We don't need to clean the context, okay? So I'm going to say yes and auto accept edits. And hopefully we'll wait before moving to the next step. Let's go. .env.local overrides your .env. I understand that, CVTML. I understand that. I just find weird that we are committing a .env file. That's it. Maybe this is a Laravel thing, but All right, let's go back into the GitHub UI and kind of reviewing every single bit we are talking about, all right? So in terms of defaults, we are using SQLite. This is looking good. And then what he did, which is interesting, is that when we are in production, you guys seeing this? You guys seeing this? So in production, we'll use the PGSQL platform, version 18, okay? This is kind of what I was expecting the defaults to be and to belong, but, this is what we have. So PGSQL in production and using SQLite for local development, okay, chat? Bada boo, bada boo, bada boom. What else we have? Is it done already? No. Okay, it's asking me for permissions to create the database. So I expect this to create a SQLite database and validate the configuration. Let's say yes, you don't need permissions to ask me that again. So it's literally failing for some reason. Cloud Code will work on it. Let's see what we have. Schema validate. Yeah, you can do that. Mapping files are correct. Okay. I'm wondering if this will be the moment where migrations will be created. I'm super curious to see how Symfony deals with migrations. Bean console is the artisan command. Yes, is their equivalent of artisan. Okay. All right, just finished with the step one. Let's see what we have. So we basically just have this little thing that SQLite will be used for local development and PGSQL will be used for production. That's it. So I'm going to type here feat configure database defaults. Okay, I approve this code and it's looking good. Configure database defaults. Bam, 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 done. The step two should be about what? Let's see. Step one is completed. We have done this shit. Good to go. Key learning points: SQLite needs no server, no credentials. In productions, we are going to use, PGSQL. Bada boom, bada boom, bada boom, bada boom. Next step, step two, user entity. We are going to create a user entity with ID, email, password. So this will be through Doctrine already. We are going to use Doctrine at this point. This entity implements the user interface and password authenticated user interface. This will be the equivalent of the user model in Laravel, by the way, okay? So in Laravel, every time you have a user model, you are extending the user model from the framework. And on Symfony, you do the same thing by implementing these two interfaces, okay? And they are requiring for auth to work. So Symfony ships with authentication as well. We are going to create a user repository as well. So Shad, I'm not a fan of repositories, but when you use data mapper through Doctrine, you are forced to use repositories, okay? I don't know what you guys think about repositories. I'm not a big fan, but this is what we have. And at the end, we're going to create a database migration. Do you want me to proceed? Yes! Move ahead. So Cloud Code will now start working a little bit through the Doctrine implementation, migrations, and everything, okay? Sabrita is saying the following: SQLite and PostgreSQL have schema differences. How you are going to deal with that? So I expect that Symfony will give me back some sort of migration creator. You see in Laravel, when you type something like, this column is a UID integer, and you are basically just chaining methods, I expect Symfony to equally offer me that, so I don't have to have different migrations depending on the driver, okay? I expect Symfony to literally give me that as well. If it doesn't, that sucks, you know? So, okay. It does, exactly. I am expecting Symfony to give me methods that allow me to do that, okay? It's already in the process of migrating the database, so we can literally just go here and see the migration chat, okay? All right, let's see. So, oh my God, okay. We are working on the backend chat. We are literally working on the models, migrations, and all that shit. Let's start with migrations, okay? The very first file we are going to check. This file is auto-generated. Please modify to your own needs. Okay, this is the migration name. Let's actually move here into the file itself so we can see it in more detail. What is this? Why are you complaining? Jesus Christ, PHP Storm, leave me alone. Okay, Shad, how do we change the PHP version of this website? It's fucking annoying me. Okay, here we are, PHP 8.5. Here we go. Okay, in Herd, we are on PHP 8.5 too. Okay, we're good to go. This is the migration name. Get description, we don't need one. Up. Okay, this is exactly what I was expecting Symfony not to do. Okay, I'm gonna ask Cloud Code why it did it this way. Okay, this is not looking good. No good. Okay, let's see if Cloud Code can do a little bit better than this. Let's say the following. Do you want me to proceed? I'm gonna say no. I have just noticed that migrations contain plain SQLite on it. Don't Symfony have something like Laravel that does, table, integer, and shit like that? So this migration can work with any driver, and with any luck, Symfony does have this, okay? Okay, Sabrita is saying you probably need Doctrine DPL. It doesn't come by default? That's interesting. Oh, wait. Great question. Yes, Doctrine absolutely has this. The schema parameter that already passed into the up and down exactly for that reason. The problem is that Doctrine migrations diff generates a raw SQL by default, but you can rewrite it using a different API. So this is exactly what I was expecting the migration to be using. Okay? So, and it just did it. Okay? Now, this is looking 1,000 times better right now. Okay, so we are adding a column ID, which is an integer, which will auto increment. We have an email, which is a string, length 118. So this is looking much more like Laravel at the minute, with nice enums, which is not bad. Okay, this is looking good, chat. This is looking good. And hopefully this, I mean, the expectation now is that this shit will work automatically for SQLite, but also PGSQL. You know, by the way, a lot of you are asking what is the GitHub UI interface I'm using. This is called GitHub Desktop. Okay, GitHub Desktop for the win. All right, chat. By the way, we have 150 people watching this stream. Can you guys go all the way down and click like on this video, but also subscribe the channel if you want to see this number going up. Okay, enums for the win. I know, chat. Enums are absolutely awesome. Okay, I actually think Laravel Query Builder is actually fantastic for migrations, or the Schema Builder, apologize, but this is not bad either, okay? Okay, so let's see what tables do we have. We have user table at the minute. We have messenger messages. I think this is basically an internal table for Symfony handle the messenger situation. Okay, and we have the down method, which I'm not a big fan of. Okay, I wish we can delete the down method. By the way, on Symfony world, for Symfony experts, stop everything you are doing. Tell me, do you guys use the down method usually, or I'm allowed to just delete it? You know, on Laravel, I'm not a big fan of down methods. I like to move forward instead. Oh, CVTML is saying no down method, never, only forwards. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of the down method. I'm going to keep it because I'm not sure this will break like anything, you know? So I'm going to just keep it a little bit, if you guys don't mind. So now the migration is looking 1,000 times better. Let's see just one last thing what we have here. We have the ID, which will be an integer, email. We have roles. I don't want roles, man. Do we need roles? I don't think we need roles. Roles suck balls. We don't need roles. Let me go here. And just ask for that, all right? I'm going to just say the following. Want me to proceed? No, I don't think we need roles. Do we? I'm going to just say this and kind of question the AI. Why is adding roles to begin with? You are right. Since we only have a single admin created with a console command, we don't need roles. Nice, chat. So this is good to go, at least the migration. Let's now move forward to the entity itself, okay? Let me just remove these PHP storm files by going to the .gitignore and ignoring the PHP storm shit. I'm going to just do this, bam, bam, bam. I'm going to type inside PHP storm crap, okay? Crap, here we go. PHP storm crap for the win. And we are going to remove this .ide situation because we don't need this. And it's gone. Okay? I don't know why this is not gone though. Oh, because it got committed. That's why it's not gone. Fuck. All right, let's just delete that little thing first. .id is not even here. Okay, I'm going to just do this. And now I'm going to commit this ignore PHP storm crap. Ignore PHP storm crap. Okay. All right, so we're okay with migrations. Let's now see the user entity. Now, this is the equivalent of Laravel models, okay, chat? The equivalent of Laravel models. So we have a user repository, which is responsible to serve users on this app. The table name will be called user, which in my opinion should have been users. Anyways, the unique identifier is the email. So all of that is good. Ooh, we see the properties as nullables. Is that expected, chat? Is that expected that all of the properties on Doctrine are just nullable by default? Nullables are a code smell in general, by the way, but kind of want to, you know. Yeah, the attributes on Doctrine, by the way, we probably need to speak about this, but on Doctrine, this is the way that you specify that this is an ID, it's a generated value, it's an ORM column as well, and this is the place where you specify some of the validation, okay? Okay, people are saying that it's expected that the attributes are nullable. Okay, let's keep that then. Okay, let's keep that then. I'm gonna just remove the git ignore here real quick. Bada boom, bada boom, bada boom. Let me push this situation. Let's go back here. I'm gonna actually accept this for now. Okay, so Doctrine is running the migrations. The migrations were run successfully. It's validating the schema. I don't know what Doctrine schema validate is. I assume that what Doctrine validation schema does is compare this shit right here with the given migration created. So we'll just compare everything that got created through the migration with my entity itself, okay? And apparently went successfully. So we can just go back to the entity and just be finished with this, okay? Okay, we still see get roles here, which is kind of, weird, but let's keep it for now. We see get password, we see set password. Now, one little thing this thing is not using, which I don't think is expected, is that it's not protecting the password from the logs. So what we are going to do here is using this attribute called, you guys remember the attribute that removes any kind of sensitive parameter, that's the name, yeah. Let's use that, okay? I was kind of expecting Symfony to do this, okay? So let's do it. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Sensitive parameters. Yes, 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 yes. Juanito is saying the following. I love attributes. It's true that Laravel will use more attributes in the next version. Yes, that's true. So Eloquent models will contain a bunch of attributes, and you guys are going to love it. Okay? Bada boom, bada boom, bada boom, bada boom. Try to use the maker bundle. Let's keep Cloud Code for now, I guess. Okay? Moni is saying the following. No, don't forget to tell Doctrine to automatically populate the timestamp columns. Oh, do we have a timestamp columns even on this user? We don't have that at the minute. I will make sure we have that once we need it. Okay. Laravel models are super clean. Oh, they are super clean and badass. Okay. So this is looking okay. Okay, this is looking okay. Let's go back into the GitHub UI and see if we are done with this. We are done, I think. We have also user repository. Again, in Symfony, if you want to access stuff on the database, you always need to go through the user repository right here. Okay. Okay. So this is called the user repository, okay? And let's go back into this file right here, user repository, and see what we have. So we have a bunch of comments. Oh, we don't have a bunch of comments. Okay. So user repository extends service entity repository, implements password upgrader interface. Jesus fucking Christ. Why do we have all of this? Okay. Apparently it's like a Symfony course thing, security wise. So let's just keep it. Bada boom, bada boom, bada boom. Using to upgrade, rehash the user password automatically over time. Okay. I'm going to just trust this. I don't know what it is, but I'm going to just trust this. Give some space here. Remove this comment, and I think we're good to go. We can also remove a bunch of git ignores again. Let's just do that. Remove this git ignore, remove this git ignore. And this is the thing I was telling you about, like app repository. I was expect this to be, kind of plural, basically. Okay. So I think we are happy with Assure or feat users persistent layer, okay? This is looking good. Do we have tests? That's a good question. Should we have tests for this shit? By the way, chat, do you think on Symfony people would just test this stuff directly? Because it feels to me that I'm testing the framework itself, but I think we are going to write tests, but only for actually making posts and making gets, Why do you use a repository to upgrade the password? I don't get it. Well, I don't get it either, man, honestly. Is Cloud Code doing some shit? We can delete it we can actually ask. Okay, let's do that. Why, on the step 2, why do we have this thing on the user repository? Can you use past on Symfony? Yes, you can. Okay, the answer from Cloud Code was the following. Password upgraded interface tells Symfony security, hey, I know how to save a new password hash for a user. Here is when it kicks in. Every time a user logs in, Symfony checks if the started password hash was created with a weaker algorithm in a lower caste factory. If PHP or your configuration was since upgraded using a different algorithm for the hashing, Symfony will automatically rehash the password with stronger settings and call upgrade password to save it. Without this interface, the user password would stay hashed with the old algorithm forever. So it seems to be a Symfony feature. That's a good feature, by the way. Okay. By the way, chat, go all the way down and put like on this video. Insanely important. Well, I'm going to keep this. This seems to be a good feature for me. Okay. All right, chat. Time to move to step 2. Let's see what step 2 has for us about. Next step, step 3, console command. We are going to create an app, create admin. A Symfony console command that accepts the email and the password as an arguments, hashes the password using the password hasher shit, and it persists the admin on the database. This will use Symfony 8 new invocable commands in the invocable shit. All right, let's do that. You can move forward with the step 3. By the way, this is how you guys should use AI, okay? Very slowly. Ask for a plan, execute step by step, validate every single fucking file created. This is how you move with the AI, okay? In 2026. I'm gonna ask now, move forward with the step 3. So the step 3 will create a console command so we can have a user on the database which will be responsible for creating articles, okay? Bada-boo, 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 chat. Oh boy, this is moving fast now. Exactly what we want. Now it's asking me to create the user, okay, the local user, which will be admin@phpnews.com, and that's the email, by the way. And this password will be secret123. I'm going to allow AI to do this. Admin user created successfully. Beautiful. Can you see the console command? Yes, we can. All right, let's see the console command real quick. What do we have here? So the console command will be this beautiful thing. Let's go here into source command, create admin command. We'll receive the entity manager interface and the user password hasher interface. And I expect this. Here we go. We were talking about the Symfony container situation. I think like if we are asking for this interface, it will automatically inject the user repository because it implements this interface, okay? And if we are asking for the entity manager, I can resolve the repository of the user automatically using that. Let me just confirm. Entity manager persist user. Oh no! So automatically the entity manager will resolve the container, the repository of the given entity user, okay? That's the way it works. All right, let's see this very carefully and slowly. So we're creating a new user. We are setting the email of that user. We are setting the given password as well. Before setting the password, we are hashing the password. And then we say, entity manager, just resolve the user repository to persist that user, okay? And then we flush it. Can anyone explain me why the fuck we have this flush here? What does the flush does? That's a very confusing thing. Does anyone know what the flush does? Otherwise, I can just ask Cloud Code, but... Bada-boo, bada-boo, bada-boom. It is going to be open source. It is open source already, dude. It is open source already. Bada-boo, bada-boo, bada-boom. Let me show you. Let me show you. So this is the repo. Let me show you. Let me send it to you. Here we go. Here we go. This is the open source repo. Okay. So I don't know what this flush does, by the way. I'm going to ask real quick Cloud Code. So I'm going to say, just don't do this. Well, I'm going to actually allow it to finish. Can you explain me what the flush does? Okay, we are going to ask AI about this situation. Okay. So the thing is over. I'm going to just ask what entity manager flush does. I'm not familiar with this, so I don't even know. I think the persist user makes sense, but the flush situation just got me confused a little bit. All right, let's see what we have. Think of Doctrine as a middleman between your PHP code and the database. When you call persist user, you are telling Doctrine, hey, keep track of this object, and I want to save it eventually. But nothing hits the database yet. The object is just queued in memory. That's a very interesting thing. So apparently, chat, what we have here is the following. When you guys call entity manager persist the user, you are basically queuing this operation. However, when you basically call flush, you are effectively committing the operation to the backend. Okay? Zito is saying the following. Flush is like commit in transaction. Exactly what yeah. Soverbose, Laravel got me spoiled. Yeah, well, it's just different, okay? We need to be open-minded, chat. Like, every single time you work with a different framework, you will think like, oh, holy shit, like, I like so much more my framework. It's just expected. You know everything about that framework. So, you know, in Laravel, by the way, the equivalent of all of this shit will just be this. User, create, you will just specify email and password, and that's it. This is the equivalent on Laravel of all of this shit. By the way, automatically Laravel will hash the password as well. Doesn't Symfony have Doctrine? This is exactly what we are using behind the scenes. This is Doctrine behind the scenes, okay? This is Doctrine. And this is the equivalent of the code below. Okay, so good shit here. So this is working. This command is working, and then we have a success message to the CLI. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy, fit users, create admin via CLI. Okay, this is good stuff. Good stuff. We don't have tests yet. We are going to add the tests in the future. Okay, chat? Bada boom, bada boom, bada boom. So step 4, let's see what the step 4 is about. Step 4, security configuration. I will update the security.yaml file to switch from the placeholder users in memory, but to use an entity provider that loads the users from the database by email. Configure the form login, so Symfony intercepts the post request to login and automatically handles authentication. Also configure the logout and the access control situation. All right, move forward. Want me to proceed with step 4? Yes, do it. Boom, 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 boom. Looks very PHP stand friendly. You mean Symfony? Yep. If you want to have a PHP stand friendly situation on Laravel, you can use Larastan, chat. Okay? Larastan. CVT Mal is saying the following. No one on Symfony world uses Doctrine only. We write our own repository patterns, which look similar to Eloquent. Is that true? Is that true, chat? Oh my god. Wow, 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 wow. T-Nox is saying the following. You don't write code anymore? Like, to be really honest with you, no, I don't write code anymore. I basically just ask Cloud Code and I validate the code. That's it. You know? Jin is saying the following. We use Laravel Filament. Is that good? Yeah, Laravel Filament is fantastic. And apparently, like on Symfony, they use something called Easy Admin, which I'm not familiar with that. That's true? Oh, I see. By the way, chat, really appreciate all of your support so far on the live stream. Don't forget, go all the way down, click like on this video, and subscribe to the channel if you want to see this number going up. If I don't end up the year with 100,000 subscribers, I will be super sad. All right, what do we have here? We have a bunch of changes regarding the security. So apparently what we are doing right now is instruct Symfony that regarding authentication, we are effectively using the app entity user for that, okay? This is exactly what's happening here, okay? For authentication, we are using the app entity user, okay? Login path will be app login. So I think this is a route name. I'm not sure yet, but I think this is a route name. Okay, maybe we will be, maybe we will not be, but I think this will be the route name. And then we have the logout which is app_logout. Okay, good stuff. Still under the fit users, configures security. Bam, done. Step 5, chat. What do we have here? Step 5, login controller and template. We'll create a security controller with 2 routes. Security controller as a name looks shit, okay? Looks shit. I want to call this no way. Call the controller session controller with store and destroy. Okay, is this too Laravel-ish? What do you guys think? Store and destroy? I don't know. Should we just keep, allow Symfony to be Symfony? What do you guys think? We can create a security controller. It just feels bad as a name. Like security controller feels too generic. What do you guys think? Call it store session management controller? Jesus fucking Christ. Why do we need all of that? Holy shit. No. Let's call it session controller. And I'm creating a new session with create store, where the create will handle the login form. The store will persist like the user. And then we have delete, not delete, just destroy for logout. Let's see what he thinks about it. What do you think about it? Okay, I'm going to ask like AI, what do you think about like this convention? Be Symfony. A la Java. Oh no. Yeah, let's see what he thinks about this situation. It might be too Laravel-ish for a Cloud Code Symfony taste. Let's see. I like it. All right, Cloud Code likes it. Much more intuitive naming. Thank you. Follows a resource pattern. Session is a resource, and you are going to create a session and destroy it. How's this map? Create will map to login. Store will map to post login. What happens? Symfony intercepts blah, 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 blah. It's looking good. I think we're good. Tell me you are a Laravel developer without telling me you are a Laravel developer. I know, man. I just cannot avoid it. Do you want me to go with this approach? I'm going to say yes. This is looking much better, I think. Okay? This is looking much better, chat. Bada boom, bada boom, bada boom. So now we are authenticating the given user, which, by the way, oh, here we go. This is what I was expecting. So this is the route name, basically, which is now session create, session store, session destroy. It's also writing the Twig stuff as we speak for the login, okay? I'm going to allow to debug the routing situation. What is debug router, by the way? I want to kind of type this shit and see what it gives to me. Oh, not bad. So PHP bin/console debug router is the equivalent of PHP artisan route list. Okay? Will basically tell you that if you hit this route, will be blah, 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 blah. Good stuff. Good stuff here. Well, actually, this is a bug. Like, this shouldn't be any. This needs to be only post. That's a bug, by the way. That's a bug. I just spot this. I'm going to tell him that. Yeah, that's 100% sure a bug. Let's go back to Cloud Code real quick. Just found a bug. The session destroy should be not any, right? Authenticated session, that's a good one too. I like session controller though. Oh, see, I found the bug. This is why it's so important, chat, to validate your code always, okay? Very, very important. So basically, in the past, we were allowing get, the verb method get, to literally destroy a session. No good, okay? No good. Now we are requiring a post, which is much more safe, okay? So let's see the terms of files, what we got right now. We got this shit, which I'm going to discard it. We have a security.yml file that points to session create, session store, and session destroy. We have a controller, which is looking okay. Let's see where we have. Let's go back into PHP Storm, session controller. Let's remove this git ignore. Session controller, we have route login, name, session create, methods get. This will receive an authentication utils. What is this shit? This is random stuff from Symfony. Okay. Authentication utils to get the last user from the last username, sorry, and also the last authenticated error, if any. And this is how we render the create form, basically how we render the login form, okay? This is how we store. This method will never be reached. Symfony is login form, intercepts the request. Huh? So if it's never being reached, why do we even have this? That's weird. Anyways, So we don't need this? Wait a second. Wait a second. Wait. I see this. If the method will never be reached, why do we even have it? That's confusing. CVT is saying the following: get for destroy is okay if you are working with IDTP brokers. I have no idea what is IDP brokers, by the way. Okay. By the way, chat, if you just arrived, today we are trying Symfony 8 for the first time ever. Okay, we are discovering Symfony 8 altogether by building an app altogether, and at the very end, we are going to ship that app on Laravel Cloud, hopefully, and just pray that everything works as expected. Okay, we are in the process of dealing with authentication, and we just found out that Symfony comes with a bunch of authentication tools, just like Laravel does. Okay. Symfony router needs the route to exist. Oh, okay, that's why. So even though that is throwing an exception, Symfony still needs that route to exist. That's a weird thing, by the way. But okay, I'm going to just accept it. Bada boom, bada boom. This number, chat, is the number of subscribers of my YouTube channel. Okay, so if you guys want to see this number going up, just subscribe to the channel. Okay, so this is apparently a thing that Symfony requires, so I'm going to just keep it. Okay. This is good. We are now in the process where we actually have a controller. So it feels to me that we kind of want to test this, okay? So I'm going to go here and say the following. Can you create a test for the session controller? Call it a session controller test and test the auth there, okay? I don't know if I'm going too far in testing Symfony stuff, but I feel like this is the moment that we need a test. We need a feature test for this stuff, okay? What do you guys think? Are you ready to work on Symfony Boost? Well, not me, but I do think that Symfony needs a boost situation, okay? They are missing out if they're not doing that already, in my opinion, okay? Is past installed already? It's not. I'm going to use whatever Symfony does by default here in terms of testing, okay? In Symfony, you do integration tests. Well, I have no idea what Symfony will actually do. I guess we are about to find out, okay? We're about to find out. I expect Symfony to have some sort of in-memory SQLite thing for the testing on the backend too. I'm going to actually make sure, are you using in-memory SQLite for testing? I'm going to just prompt AI for about that situation, okay? So tests are failing, but we want to make sure that we are using SQLite for testing here, okay? DDN is saying the following: try some Symfony UX Stimulus and Turbo. It's Symfony Livewire-ish. Yep. Constantine Ross is saying the following: how do you like Symfony so far? Just saw the stream. There is a few things that I was kind of expecting Symfony to be too verbose. You know, we talked about the create admin situation, and I don't think Doctrine is actually a good thing. Okay, Doctrine is just too verbose for my taste. It does too many stuff. I'm also not a big fan of the amount of configuration files they ship by default, but you know, it's their thing. You know, they are configuration over convention, so I feel it. But Doctrine feels too much verbose to me. I'd much rather use Eloquent. Okay. I'm pretty sure Symfony must have at least a skill. Well, you know, that would be helpful, by the way. That would be really helpful. Did you just nuke your local DB prior to the memory change? Well, hopefully not. He might have done that, yes. By the way, chat, is this expected? This is how you do integration testing with Symfony? Mr. Puyapa, what's up? That migration file name. Yeah, I don't know why I did that. I think we're going to just go with it. Okay. Let's see the test, by the way. Let's go here into the test folder, controller. We see a session controller test. We see a bunch of setup being done here. Jesus fucking Christ. Drop and recreate the schema for a clean state before each test. Okay. Are we using in-memory database? That's a good point. Why not in-memory database? In-memory database is per connection. When Symfony security layer processes a form request, it may open a different connection, finding an empty database. No way this works this way. Let's go here and type Symfony testing. Okay. They must have a better story than this. Integration tests. Here we go. This is what I want to use. All right, I'm going to ask Cloud Code to get familiar with this shit. Get familiar with integration testing on Symfony and rewrite that test. Because it looks ass, okay? In integration, you mock your repositories, no HTTP calls made. No way. Are you serious? They don't have like actually post and delete and shit like that? Please no. Oh, they do have this though, like get content and shit like that. They don't have post. You get the verbose regarding Doctrine. Patricio, what's up, dude? Today you don't have Laravel boost. That's right, man. I would love a Symfony boost though. Oh, they have this crawler situation. But still, that doesn't allow me to use in-memory databases. Oh, fuck. That sucks a little bit. Let's see what we have, though. Yeah, now they're using the crawling situation. But this don't allow me to use in-memory database. Well, it's a little bit better than we had before. But it does not allow me to use in-memory database. Does it work though? Let me see. Vendor bin PHP unit. Yeah, it's working, which is good. Meaning that I should be able to go into my app and already start seeing some shit. So I'm gonna type login. Yep, the login form looks like ass, but this is working. So if I create a user, so let's type here PHP artisan. Oh, PHP artisan. PHP artisan. Come on, Nuno. Focus, huh? No good, huh? PHP artisan. The muscle memory is so big at the minute. Bin console this, and the user will be admin at phpnews.com, and the password will be 123123123. Oh, the user already exists. Oh, so we already have a user. Shit, what is the user thing? How do I run PHP art, like migrate fresh? Let's actually create a new user. So I'm going to type my own email. inunomaduro@gmail.com. Oh, here we go. Now we have a user. So we can go here. Bam. 123123123. Sign in. That's weird. What's happening? Oh, it did log in, but it doesn't have a dashboard or whatever. So that's why. Okay. Good stuff. So this is looking good. We can just, again, discard this thing, and we good to go. So the database for testing is data_test, which makes sense. This makes sense too. Good to go. This is Twig, by the way, Shed. We haven't checked much, but Twig is kind of, I like Twig. I think Twig is okay. Let me go here into create.html.twig. So login PHP news is looking like this, okay? By the way, there is styling here. Why you don't see any style here? There is a BG white here. Why this is not white? I'm wondering if we need to recompile our assets. Well, wait. Where is in Tailwind through CDN though, right? Oh, not yet, but we will. Okay, makes sense. Makes sense. So this will be feat users log in and log out. Okay. Let's commit this. Done. Next step. What else we have? Step number. Bada boom, bada boom, bada boom, bada boom, bada boom. Let's go all the way up. Ready for step number 6. Base layout with Tailwind CSS. Yes. We ready. Do it. By the way, chat, subscribe to the channel. Don't forget about that, all right? Twig is great. Yeah, I think Twig is okay. You know, Twig is as good as Blade in my opinion, okay? So obviously, if we go to this create.html.twig, we see a block title, which is a prop that bubbles up to the base layout. Okay, so we have a base layout here, and we can bubble up a different title if we want to. So here, for example, we have a title which is PHP News by default, but if we want to change it a little bit, what we can do is bubble up a different title. We have a body which we can equally bubble up. If there is an error on the session, we'll just display it. This is very similar to Laravel, by the way, okay? Laravel have different conventions, like double underscore instead of this shit right here. What else? We use URL instead of path here. We don't do this though. Like now with we still do this on Blade. Never mind. On Blade we still do it. I'm so out of shape with Blade right now because I'm using Livewire all the time in JavaScript that I don't remember the last time I have typed this basically. Okay, this is looking very equally to what I'm used to on Blade. Okay. So Cloud Code is working right now on making sure we have a base layout, which is apparently done, which tells me that if I go here into the browser, if I refresh this, I should have a nice layout page. Here we go, chat. And we are logged in, as I told you, so I can log out, and I have a latest article. This is looking good, man. We're making progress right here. Fuck yeah. So I am on my PHP News situation, built with Symfony 8. Okay. Fuck yeah. I can log in. All right. I can just go here and type, I am Nuno Maduro. Okay. With 123 password, I can sign in. Now I am signed in. And I can obviously log out if I want to. This is looking good. What do you guys think? W good? W Symfony so far? I think we're chilling, okay? I cannot wait to see some articles here. This is looking good. With a nice profile situation here as well. Nice. All right, chat. We good. In terms of Tailwind generated code, I think we want to take a peek in terms of GitHub situation. Let's see what we have. I'm really tired of this shit, chat. I'm going to have fucking nuke this out of the world real quick. Bam, bam, goodbye. Sure, goodbye, annoying, goodbye file, okay? All right, so app.css would load Tailwind CSS through the styling. Yep. We have a home controller which will render the index page of the home page, which is this one, looking good. And we have the base now using a bunch of Tailwind related code, and this is looking good. I do think AI is actually very good generating front-end code. Okay, so let's type here feet, layout, Tailwind CSS, and base layout. Okay, good stuff here. Good stuff here, chat. Good stuff. Let's take a moment to read the chat. Composer required Laravel. Now, we good. We good today with Symfony only. Samu is saying the following. I love that you are on Symfony. It does not get enough love compared with Laravel. I don't think, well, maybe like worldwide, it does not get the same traction as Laravel. But I think like Symfony has a huge community on it, like on their own bubble. Like you guys need to understand this. If you ask any Rails developer, they will tell you that Rails is the only thing that exists. If you ask for a Django developer, they will tell you that Django is the only thing that exists. If you ask a Symfony developer, I'm pretty sure the community is huge and like they think that Symfony is the only thing that exists on the PHP world. Just like many people on Laravel think that about Laravel too. So Twig is great, man. I agree. NPM run, we don't need that because we are using Tailwind through the CDN and we are using Twig just with regular Blade. I don't think we also need asset map because we don't have a single asset here. But if we do, probably we need that. Do we have any agents.md file? Not yet on this project. We are just keep it simple, okay? You prefer Blade. Yeah, I do prefer Blade too. Symfony is huge on Europe. Yeah, especially on France. I wouldn't say on Europe overall, but on France, 100% it is. Juacanito is saying the following: if you use GS, you will say you ate it. Yeah, if I can avoid GS, I probably would. Fast API and Flask exists beside Django. I think Fast API and Flask are very different projects from Django. Okay, I think like in the world of JavaScript frameworks, Python frameworks, and many other languages, there are frameworks who are like batteries included, authentication, caching, database, and shit, talking about Rails, Django, Laravel, Symfony, and there is frameworks who are just routing. So Flask and Fast API is just that. In France, they tend to complicate things. All right, chat, we good to go. So let's move forward to the next step. By the way, I want to ask you, like, today you guys are watching me using Cloud Code. Like, if I was actually developing something at Laravel or developing something for myself, what do you think about the pace I am going here? Do you like the pace? Do you think this is the pace that you equally take on your side, or you just generate the entire thing at once? I don't think generating the entire thing at once is a good move. All right, we're now moving to the step 7, which is creating the article entity. This will basically create an article entity, just like we have the user entity, with the title, slug, content created at and updated at. We also use Doctrine lifecycle callbacks. Some of you talked about this, okay? About using the life cycles of Doctrine to update the information like created at and updated at to automatically set the timestamps, blah, 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 blah. Yes, yes, yes. You want me to proceed? I'm going to say yes, okay? So now we're working on the entity that will be like the article entity so we can display some articles. That's what we are going to do. Boo, 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 boo. Peak and Flow is saying the following: I like the pace. This is how I use AI. If I go too fast, it makes a mess. So, feel the same. Isaac from TikTok is saying the following: thinking about Laravel for small non-profit systems. What is the easiest way to deploy nowadays? I think the easiest way is use Laravel Cloud, which is the offering that we have. Now, chat, do you remember when I told you guys that AI gets inspired by current code? Because we take our own pace and we tell AI to not use any of raw SQL and always rely on this kind of schema builder. AI just did that for the article table, okay? By the way, chat, I really appreciate a bunch of you being on that side today. Don't forget, my name is Nuno, PHP and Laravel developer. If you guys enjoyed today's live stream, go all the way down, click like on the video, that means the world to me, but also go all the way down again and click subscribe button if you want to see this number going up to 50. Okay, chat? So it's creating the migration. I think we can just already take a peek, and we can. Let's go to the migration real quick and see what we have here. Bada boom, bada boom, bada boom, bada boom. Migrations at the migrations folder. This name, by the way, it's really weird, man. Why the fuck they have this kind of names? Version whatever. Couldn't this be, create articles table instead of this version crap thing? This is a big number right here. Why do we need this? Does anyone know? Anyone that is a Symfony expert know why do we have these bad names for the migration situation? Constantine Ross is saying the following: you can also scrap the AI migrations and call bean console make migration if you have the maker version. Oh, I see. Interesting. I see. It's a timestamp to make sure they run in order. Yeah, but you can also have a timestamp and still have a nice name. All right, let me teach you something, chat. You guys can do this. Look at me. Very important, Nuno, okay? You guys can have this. Create articles table.php. Here we go. Isn't this a little bit better than before? I think it is, right? Create users table. It's still ordered by timestamp. A little bit better in my opinion, but Laravel biased. I know. I'm going to stop right here. I'm going to stop. You guys feel this is natural, so let's just be with that. All right, we have a create article table, and the up schema will create an ID, integer, auto increment. We have a title, a slug, a content as a text. Okay, I'm okay with that. Created at will be immutable data time. Updated at will be date time immutable. Wait, what? Interesting. Okay. I don't think, well, let's see how this will play out. We have a primary key, which is the ID, and we have a unique index, which is the slug. The down will just drop the table. This is looking good. We have the entity article, which have an ID, have the title slug, the same situation. And hopefully, all the way down, we use a constructor that will, no, not a constructor. We'll use on pre-persist. We are going to populate the created UT and updated UT with new date times immutable. Okay. And on pre-update, we are going to populate the updated UT with a new date as well. Okay. This is stuff that, by the way, you guys in Laravel just get it as a granted because it's done behind the scenes. You don't see it. But on Doctrine, you need to specify this explicitly. Let's call it that way. Can you guys confirm that if I were to remove this, my created UT and updated UT won't be populated at all? Confirm to me, Symfony experts. Bias is the best bias. I agree with you. Luis Cruz is saying the following. Laravel is so magic. If you do PHP artisan, make migration, update user stable, will automatically set the schema to the users. Yeah, Laravel does that for you, which is absolutely awesome. Correct, they would be null. Thank you, Mono10. I appreciate your feedback. Okay, that makes sense. So we are using this life cycle thing from Doctrine to basically populate those two with a bunch of getters and setters, which in hindsight, I kind of wish to... No, do I wish that? Maybe not. All right, let's keep it that way. Let's keep it that way. The repository, it's called the article repository, which looks very similar to the user repository, but instead, we have this find all ordered by newest. Okay, find all ordered by newest. So basically, we're going to find all of the articles. I don't understand this, Elias, but we're going to find all of the articles ordered by descendary created UT, which makes sense. We get the query and we get the result. Okay, so in Laravel, this would have been this, I think. Not this. Ordered by desk, yes. And then I would do just all, I think. Yep, on Laravel will be this. It's not that different, but kind of, again, a little bit less verbose, I guess. Symfony just for fun? Yeah, we are discovering Symfony. You know, being open-minded about things. It's very important that you actually are open-minded about trying different things to become a better developer, okay? Super important. That's why I kind of know how to code on Go, on Rust, on JavaScript, on Python, and even Ruby. If you give me Ruby, I can do Ruby now. And the reason it's because I like to explore things. I like to just be familiar with things and actually build apps with it. And it's super important. So you can actually become a better... Wow. Thank you so much, Monia, for becoming a premium sponsor on YouTube. I really appreciate you doing that, man. It means the world to me that you're supporting my work. Thank you. Yeah, being a better developer means that you need to explore different things. Be open-minded about trying. For example, I'm going to give you an example. I have tried Docker because everyone pitches to me that Docker is fantastic. And I have acknowledged that Docker is not better than what I had before. So, you know, but at least I have learned Docker. Now, if you ask me, can you just boot Docker on this project? I know how to do it. And also know now why I don't use Docker, which is a good thing. But in overall, you kind of need to be open-minded to try different things, okay? That's important. Super important. Today, we have two premium sponsors on YouTube. We have Mona and Pick and Flow supporting my work. I really appreciate it. Thank you. Oh, great question from Renato. Did you already use the Zen framework? So I was actually a Zen 1 developer. So back in the days, like, you know, probably like 13 years ago, I actually tried Zen 1 as a PHP developer. You know, it was okay. You know, obviously, it's not as modern as Laravel or Symfony, but it was okay. So we have this. What else we have? And I think that's it. Yeah, I kind of like all of these changes. By the way, Shad, what does Symfony use as a linter? That's a good question, actually. Symfony linting projects. What do they fucking use? Do they have like Symfony lint? Oh, they have literally nothing. Interesting. Can I use Pint here? That would be cool. Let's actually use Pint here. Oh my god, that's so fucked up. All right, let's just first feed articles, persistent layer. Let's commit this. Let's go here to the console. Let's type composer require Laravel Pint --dev. Oh, it does work. Oh no. Okay. Vendor bin pint. Oh, it's kind of just. Oh no, I don't think this is doing a good thing. It must not be doing a good thing. Let me just close this. Here we go. What he did. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's like fucking going to vendor or whatever, because this is a lot of files. Yeah, this is doing too much. This is probably like changing the vendor or whatever. What the fuck? Can I just do this? Bin, like, source. Let's start with this. Yeah, I can do just source. Here we go. And if I do that, it will just rearrange things like Laravel does. Constantine Ross is saying it uses PHP as fixer by Symfony, but I agree that Pint is way nicer. Yeah, I know. Oh, change the preset. That's a good point. But still, I don't understand why it's like fucking changing everything. Like, what is this on the bottom? You know, I'm afraid that this is literally changing the vendor directory. So probably should not use Pint. Let's remove Pint. PHP Artisan, Composer, remove Laravel Pint. Okay, let's do that. Let's just revert these changes. Okay. I'm going to just remove as well the vendor, type composer update to get the latest changes without being formatted. All right, beautiful. Let's move forward. Bada boom, bada boom, bada boom, bada boom. All right, next step. We don't need to test this yet. Next step will be the article CRUD for admin. Okay, chat, so the next step, we are kind of close to the end, by the way. The next step will be just create a CRUD for the admin. So basically have some sort of a Symfony form. What is a Symfony form class? Do they have this, like a Symfony form? Oh, this must be a form request, chat. A form request on Laravel. We have an article controller with a fully CRUD list, create, edit, delete. Under admin articles, we have admin templates, our article list of tables, shared, create, edit form. This is the biggest step. Oh, okay. What is admin templates, though? An article list table. Oh, yeah. An article list table. Yeah, we need that. In a way of creating a delete form. Yeah, we need that. Okay, let's do it. Want me to proceed? Yes. Symfony have some form generators? Well, too late now. Samuel is saying the following. The form builder is a mega on Symfony. You need to have it a go. Form builder? Well, hopefully we'll use it. I don't know, man. I see already like component form extension. This is what we're talking about? Hopefully we will. Okay. By the way, chat, enjoying a bunch today's live stream. Don't forget, go all the way down, like the video, go all the way down again, and subscribe to the channel if you want to see this number going up, okay? Very, very important, especially for those of you who are Symfony developers. I have a bunch of PHP cool content for you all on my channel. Okay, bada boom, bada boom, bada boom. It's already like cooking. What is it doing though? Let me go here. Oh my god, we have a bunch of shit. What is this? HTTP method override. Oh, it's for the delete situation for sure. Because delete will need that. Yep. Article controller already being created. Article type. So this is what you guys talking about, like the form situation. I'm going to be honest with you, chat. I'm not a fan of Tailwind classes on my backend code. Okay? You know, I don't know if this is expected. Tell me yes if it's expected. But Tailwind classes on my backend code, ugh. Cloud is the form builder. That's fair. Yeah, man. You know, I like form builders in general. I think form builders are fantastic, but this is like the line for me that I don't cross. I think like this stuff right here, it's a line that I don't cross already. It feels to me that this should be done on the front end. I don't even know how Tailwind will behave in terms of excluding or including some classes on the final build with this shit. Hopefully it will just work, but yeah. Okay, is it done? Are we ready to just validate the code? It is done. Jesus Christ. He had tests, though. We need tests, chat. We need tests. Is a step 9 about tests? I'm going to say the following. Wait. Actually, first add tests for the article controller. Is it called article controller? Hopefully it is. Yes, it is. So let's just call for the admin article controller. Okay. So we want a few tests here. It's important to test your apps. Okay. TGM, what's up, dude? Nice to see you. Welcome to the chat. Simo3 is saying the following. You can define it on the Twig. It's nice to encapsulate styles into reusable form types, though. Yeah, that's true. I feel you, you know. And I understand why some people like this. I just, you know, personally, I like to see my Tailwind styles on the front end only. Now you know about the Symfony form generator. Oh, this is looking good, though. Hopefully will work. So let's see what we have. So we have a few changes on my composer update for some reason. Yep. So let's commit this. So sure bump dependencies. What else we have? We have the HTTP method override. By the way, if you don't know this is something necessary if you want to use deletes, basically. Okay, on Laravel, we have this by default. So this will be sure uses HTTP method override. This will be like, yeah, override. Let's just do this. Then we have, what else? We have the base Twig changes, and we have the index, which is the list of articles. Yeah, this is admin only, by the way, okay? So let's go to the admin, to the article controller to see what we have. Article controller real quick. So we have a route called admin article index, which makes sense. We'll display the list of articles, and to load them, we are going to load the Twig view index.html.twig and the list of articles, which will be fetched from the repository. Now, I have a question for you all. So here, for example, he used the article repository directly, okay? So he injected the article repository directly. However, on my console command, it did like through interfaces, okay? So here, for example, it's just specifying user password Azure interface, while it could have done like user repository, you know? So I feel like this is okay, but I want to make sure this is expected though. Okay. Bartek is saying the following. Hi, Nuno. It's possible for you to record live sessions in your channel. Yes, all my live streams are actually available for everyone. So if you go to my YouTube channel, which is this one, you can click here on live streams, and all of my previous live streams, every single one of them, it's available for you to watch. Okay? Every single one of them. And many of them are like 2 hours, 3 hours, easy peasy. And then you can watch the videos, and you can also watch the shorts if you want to. Okay? All right? What AI are you using with Symfony 8 Cloud Code Opus 4.6? Monet 10 is saying the following. I missed the first prompt to Cloud. How did you instruct to go so slow and make a 10-minute plan? So I like to... So basically, I asked Cloud Code to make me a phpnews.com website. I told them, like, I wanted to move slowly on the steps because I want to validate them one by one so I can learn Symfony in the process. So that was it. It took 10 minutes, yes. Why didn't I saw that before? I don't know, man. OCS from TikTok is saying, what are you doing? We are discovering Symfony and deploying it on Laravel Cloud at the end. All right, Chad. So list of articles, find all order by newest. This is looking good, okay? This is new. I would have done create here, but, you know, fuck it, I guess. So new article, which will be named admin article new, get and post. Okay, so basically we are receiving the post and the get in the same route. Is this expected? Jesus Christ. Okay. So I'm going to create the form for the given article type. What is article type? Oh, is the actual form itself. Got you. I'm going to make a form for the article type, and then I'm going to ask, can that form handle that request? That's interesting. So the way Laravel does this, by the way, wow, this is interesting. So the way Laravel does this, by the way, is that if you have article type through the form request, while Laravel is resolving the article type, will equally send the current request to that form request, okay? So in theory, on Laravel, you don't need any of this, because Laravel will do that through the dependency injection, okay? In Symfony, again, it's a little bit more explicitly, so you need to kind of you need to just call that yourself, basically, okay? So if we are on the get situation, we don't need any of this if condition. Here we go. If we are just requesting the form itself, it will be rendered through this render form, okay? But if we are submitting a form and that happens through the post request, we are going to validate that form. And if the form is valid, then we grab the article that got created right here. We set the slug as being the article, lower into string. What is this? Abstract Unicode string. Oh, that's a string helper. Interesting. And then we are going to persist that article on the database, calling flush, which is to commit the transaction effectively, and then display a flash message with success. And finally, I redirect the current user to the list of articles, which is this little thing right here. What else we have? We can also edit the article, which is done in a very similar way. So we are reusing the same form, sending the request to that form too. If it's valid, we are going to simply... Oh, it uses model round binding. Interesting. So it's injecting the current article because of the given ID. So the article here will be fetched automatically because it will fetch by ID, which is provided here. Very interesting. So this is similar to Laravel in that regard. Okay, good stuff, man. I'm enjoying this. Are you guys enjoying as well? Cool stuff. Ronat is saying the following: I like way Symfony makes routes. This should be possible in Laravel. You mean the attribute situation? Yeah, we talked about that. I really enjoy this routes situation. I actually think like this should be possible in Laravel. Pretty sure there's packages for that, but you know. Yeah, the function will do the two things basically. We'll render the form plus act when the form is submitted. And we have that on the new article, but also on the edit situation. Same situation, okay? So again, if we are submitting a form and the form is valid, then we just grab the article that got sent through the model round binding, and we set the new slug, we commit the transaction, we display a flash message. Otherwise, we return back the form, which hopefully here, if there is errors, will be inside the form already, automatically. Good stuff here. This is very easy to read, by the way, okay? I must say that, you know, Symfony is explicit and shit, but this is a very easy code to read. What do you guys think? Yeah, in Laravel, by the way, you don't specify ID here. You specify article instead, okay? That's the only difference. If you want to specify a different column name like slug, you do it that way. It would be kind of cool if I can do just slug here. That would be cool. But I don't know. So that's done. What else we need to check? I think we want to check the form builder as well. Let me just rearrange things here real quick. Here we go. So we have the article controller. We just checked that. We have the form article type. Let's just check that real quick. Article type. Build form. So this is the form builder you guys were talking about. I wonder how this form is actually rendered. So let's actually go to the... Let's actually go into the admin article form, and I want to see how this is displayed. Oh, so Twig have a couple of directives where you just type form, and then you just form start, and you specify the form inside. Very interesting. So this is the form label, which is specified on the backend. This is where form errors will be displayed. I'm very curious to see how this will render effectively for all of us, okay? So we have all of the Twig stuff that will render this. We have the Twig that will render all of the list of the articles. This is plain Twig with tables and everything, so random stuff. And then we have the base being changed a little bit, which is okay. And we have tests, which I assume will be very similar to the user tests. Yep, this is browser testing, okay, being done here. And if I go here and type vendor bin PHP unit, it will just run. Here we go, okay? Couple of tests here. This is nice. Sashin is saying the following: the Twig template gives you full control of UI, even if we have a form class. Okay, that's good. So basically, I can opt by not using classes on the back end. You can also save the slug into the entity listener. Thank you. CVT Mal, thank you so much for becoming a subscriber tier 1. How much months have you subscribed already? 13 months, CVT Mal. Thank you. Really appreciate you subscribing to my Twitch channel. Luis Oliveira is saying the following: if you need a custom input and you want to write it yourself, you can also do this after the input. Ah, thank you. All right, chat, it's time to see this in action. Let's actually go to, let's go here. Let me just close this. Let's open this. Let's refresh. So now I can log in again with Nuno. Let's do that. Bam. I'm going to sign in, and I expect to be able to go to the admin. What is the admin? Oh, it's dashboard. Okay, this is the public visible thing for everyone, but I have a dashboard as well because I'm an admin, okay? No articles yet. Let's create our first article. This will be PHP past 5 is under development, okay? Development. So I'm going to intentionally put a few spaces on the content and create the article. Oh, this is a bug. So I was able to specify a couple of spaces, and this went all the way down to the database. No good. No good, Cloud Code. We need to work on this, okay? Can you make sure the user is not able to provide an empty string on any of the forms? Just saw this by putting a couple empty spaces. What is the error again? Not null on the content. Yep. No good. Austin, thank you so much for the $2 on YouTube. I appreciate your support. Could you host the Drupal app on Laravel Cloud? Not at the minute. So at the minute, Laravel Cloud supports Laravel and Symfony. Okay. Oh, interesting. So it's solving this through Doctrine. Is this expected, chat? Is expected that HTTP form validations are done through Doctrine attributes? It is expected. Thank you, CVT Mal. Appreciate your feedback. Interesting. So it's at the model level almost. Okay, so now if I go back, let's go back into the article situation. Past 5 is under development. And I'm going to do a couple of empty spaces. This value should not be blank. And do the same thing all the way top here. Yep. It is working. Nice. So past 5 under development. Nuno just created a .5 branch on the past repo and is fucking crazy. Create article. Let's go! Right here, chat, right here. And if I go to PHP News, no articles published yet. Why? Oh, it's not yet done, basically. That's why. Okay? So I can update the article. I can put here past 4, for example. Update it. Really just works. Past 5 again. Really just works. Now, one cool thing, chat, now that I'm thinking about specifying these rules at entity level, is that by doing it here, it affected the create and the update. Meaning that now the update and the create automatically will inherit these rules. That's cool stuff. That's actually cool stuff because automatically Symfony is using this for the edit and for the new action. Do you guys see like how valuable that is? So basically like at any point where I'm using this entity, this rule will be just leveraged automatically. That's good stuff. Good stuff. Chat, don't forget, go all the way down, subscribe to the channel, go all the way down again and click on the subscribe button if you are enjoying today's live stream. Insanely important. So we don't see the article. Can I delete it? Yes, I can delete it. Equally works. Okay, so let's go here. Past 5 under development is crazy good. Let's give a few spaces here, like a few epsilon. Okay, what else I want to do? So it's not being displayed here. Let's see why. We have a couple of tests for this. So this is looking good, okay? All of this shit is looking good now. So feed articles, this will be new, edit. Or let's just type CRUD. I think this is enough. Let's go back in example. Here we go. But interesting, Chris is saying the following. That specified attributes on the entity will equally work with commands, queues, everywhere. Very interesting. There is any advantage on using Symfony over Laravel? It's a matter of preference. I prefer Laravel, but you can, it's a matter of preference. I don't think there is a clear advantage though. All right, so fix tests. All right, next step. Step 9, which is public article pages. Okay, so step 9 will actually display those articles we just have created on the back end. So I'm going to just say yes. Bada boom, bada boom, bada boom. Young is saying the following. Please use Turbo.js if you want to have that SPA feeling. I'm going to tell you something, chat, and you guys may not agree with this, but Twig and Blade are actually super fine for 90% of the apps. For a fucking blog article, why do I need the SPA feeling? This will be perfectly just nice. Will just work. I won't use JavaScript just for the sake of using JavaScript, okay? Just the usual Friday evening internet problem. Wait, what? What's happening? It's all good? Stream okay? Chat, type stream fine. Stream okay if everything is okay. Bada boom, bada boom, bada boom. So what are we doing now? It's basically displaying all of the articles. Okay. Ooh, that was fast. That was fast. Let's see what we have. Went down for a couple of seconds. We back, right? We back, no delay. Everything is just perfect. Type yes, W stream is everything is okay. Oh, we went down hardcore. Oh, yeah. But we back, chat. Oh, wait. It's still down for me, though, for some reason. Yeah, just refresh. Apparently, like, something is wrong. Refresh, chat, refresh. Very, very important. YouTube is apparently okay. It's what people are saying. Yeah, refresh. Yeah, we good on YouTube. Let's see on Twitch. YouTube, we good. Boo, boo, boo. All right, let's move forward. So Home controller is now rendering the list of articles, right? Let's go here. Yep, the Home controller is now injecting the article repository and loading all of the articles ordered by newest. So that's good. That's a good change. We also have the article controller, which now have a show method. Okay, let's go here into the article controller. And now we have a show method somewhere. Oh, the article controller is, however, not at admin level. Here we go. It's at the public level. So it's being displayed at root level of the controller namespace. And what we are doing here is finding the article by Slug. So can I not do something like Laravel like this, where the entity is found and injected somewhere like this? That would be cool. Chat, can I do this? Symfony experts, can you guys let me know if I can do this? And still load the route by Slug, by the way. That's the important detail about this, is that the slug still needs to work. Trippy Show is saying the following: there is a unique check on Slug in the controller for duplicate titles. Yes, there is. CVTML is saying check the docs. Oh, come on, dude. Tell me how to do that. It will be much easier. It's called parameter convert. Jesus, of course it's called parameter convert. All right, let's see. Parameter convert Symfony. This cannot be right. No longer recommended to use this bundle. What the fuck? Parameter convert. Oop, I think I got it. Parameter conversion. It's common routing need to have to convert the value started in some parameter, an integer acting as user ID, into another value. Okay, so basically I just do slug post. Okay. So slug article. And then I can just put the article right there. Okay, that's much better. So just do this. And I don't have to do this anymore. And I hopefully don't need this either. Will be just this. That's much better, by the way. And I don't need this either. 1000% better. Hopefully it will work. We don't know. I guess we're going to find out. Let's go here into the app itself. I'm going to refresh this. Here we go. Yep, it's working. There is no attribute. Why are you guys telling me there is an attribute? It's working. Good. But we don't need an article. It's an attribute. It's really just working. This is the correct way, right? Can you guys confirm it to me? Is that model resolution? Yeah, apparently, well, entity resolution, let's call it that way. Okay, I'm resolving the article entity by its slug automatically. This seems to be just working, Symfony guys. Okay, so I think I'm going to keep it that way. So I can go back to all articles. Yep, that's working good. All right, what else? So that's loading all the articles. That's displaying all of the articles. That's just basically Twig shit. Okay, that's looking good. So feed articles, display article by Slug. Bam. We don't need this import anymore, do we? Yep, we don't. Here we go. Do we have the test suite passing as expected? Because if we do, I think we just finished the app. Vendor bin PHP unit. Yep. Do we added a test for this? Let me just confirm. No, we don't have a test for this. We need to test for this real quick. Let's type here, add a test for the article controller show. I think if you create an article title with the same title, it will throw a 500. I don't think it will because we are validating the slug automatically. We can test it out. We can test it out, absolutely. Let's do it. So I'm going to the dashboard. So I have this title. I'm going to create new article, same title. Oh, you're right. Okay, we need to absolutely account for this. I have just created an article with the same title and saw this error. Can you fix it? Entity does not sound like Laravel at all. Yeah, Laravel uses active record through Eloquent, and Symfony uses data mapper. Is Pass5 really on dev? Yes, it is. Wow! Generate a unique slug appending 1, 2, 3 if necessary. I actually have wrote code like this in the past, so I will not condemn. So the slug will be now generated uniquely for the given article, even if the title is the same. And wrote a test for this. This is good. So basically, if I now go here, just copy this, new article. The slug now will be, so our title is the same, but the slug will be a little bit different. Slug will be -2, and this will be just without the dash. Yeah, makes sense. Feels like Laravel with Doctrine will be cooler. No, thank you. Passport is already the GOAT. What can we expect from V5? Dude, I don't know, man. That's what I'm trying to just, figure it out. I don't know. All right, chat. I think like this is good enough to the point that we can develop and deploy this on Laravel Cloud, okay? We can create articles, we can log out, we can delete articles. This is good enough, okay? So the next step is deploying this on Laravel Cloud. And you guys know that Laravel Cloud is this platform that allows you to deploy Laravel apps, but we recently added support for Symfony, and I want to walk you through, guys, how can you do that, especially the Symfony people on that side, okay? So the way it works is kind of simple. Let's first of all just commit this. Let's type here fix article unique slug, okay? All right, so I'm going to commit this. I have this app on GitHub. Let's go back into the Cloud dashboard. And the only thing you have to do, really, if you are on Laravel Cloud and if you want to add a new project, and I have a bunch of them, as you can see, I can just type new application. Okay, I'll make this a little bit bigger. Then you search for the organization you want to import the application from. In my case, it will be Nuno Maduro. And then the app name will be called Symfony 8 example. I'm going to just type enter and create the app. And you select the region. In my case, will be just Ohio. Okay. I'm going to create the application, and this hopefully will just move forward, and it does. Okay. So there is a couple of things we need. What do we need? So we need obviously we need a database. So let's create here a database. I'm going to call this create new database cluster. The database cluster will be called Symfony 8 example. Let's use Postgres 18 like we talked about. This will be a development database, so we'll hibernate and shit like that, so we don't pay a thing. And then I'm going to create a database cluster. Okay, hopefully this will just work. Yep, database cluster Symfony 8 is being created. So let's wait a little bit for this. And it's created, okay? So we have a database to deploy our app. What else we need? I think we're good. I think there's a few things we need to change on the deployment script since I can remember, but I don't remember what changes are. So I guess we're going to find out. Okay, let me just confirm. Deployments, so we are doing here what? We are doing a composer install. We are migrating the database. I think here, weren't you guys talking about an asset mapper situation thing? Can you guys let me know what that is? Cedar shouldn't be running production? No. That's a mistake, by the way, if you do that. Does Laravel have a native slug checking? It does not. So I know that on Laravel Cloud, for this slugs you guys are seeing all the way top, you see these slugs right here? Side projects, Symfony 8 example and shit like that. I have wrote my... Okay, you guys don't answer. I think there is something I need to put here, but fuck it, right? Let's just move forward and just deploy this and see how it goes. So we have a database. I think we get it to go. Yep, let's deploy it. So it's deploying. We're deploying a Symfony 8 application in the Laravel Cloud platform. How small is this world? Oh my God. Okay, it's failing on the build command. Let's see why. This project requires PHP 8.5, but your version is PHP 8.4. Oh yeah, we need to change this real quick. Let's go here into the place we specify PHP. Let's go to PHP 8.5 and save and deploy. Okay, we're now on PHP 8.5 and we are deploying. Stream is down. Fuck no, chat. No good, chat. Hopefully we'll be back in a second. Bada boom, bada boom. Bada boom. Bada boom. Tell me when I'm back. I am back. Back again. Boo, boo, boo. Noon is back. Boom, boom, boom. Tell a friend. Boo, boo, boom. Noon is back. Noon is back. Noon is back. Noon is back. Are we fully back, chat? Let me know right on the stream, W stream, if we are fully back. And we are deploying our Symfony application, chat, as we speak. Okay? Okay. So just as a reminder, I just went all the way down. I went from so I was on PHP 8.4. I'm going to move here to PHP 8.5, okay? And then I pressed the deploy button, just like that, okay? By pressing the deploy button, I was able to see that the app was deployed successfully. And if you don't know Laravel Cloud, there is a few things that Laravel Cloud will do, such as pulling the repo from GitHub, as you guys can see here. That's running. It's hopefully will be fast as well. And then we'll run the build commands, which is basically just typing composer install, okay? Just type in composer install. So here we go, running composer install. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. Once that is over, what we will do is just push my application to production, which is finished already, okay? Then it goes all the way down into the deployment logs. And the first thing we will do is prepare my deployment. We'll run the deployment commands, which is effect migrations migrate, okay? That will just work. And hopefully at the end, it's successful, which it is, okay? So we'll just do all of this. We'll route all the traffic. And now, if I go to this domain, hopefully see my application. And I do! Here we go, chat. Here we go, our application deployed on Laravel Cloud, okay? This is Symfony running on Laravel Cloud. How cool is that, okay? W Laravel Cloud, everyone, typing that on the chat. Oh my God, it's down again. Is this real? That's so fucked up. Really on the best moment on top of it. Oh my God. I'm going to literally, and I forgot to eat the record on top of it, which sucks balls. All right, chat, we are going to wait. We are going to wait. Shady is back. Tell a friend. Type refresh, chat. I don't know what's happening. It's really like Streamlabs being annoying, by the way. I cannot do anything about that. Okay? I know. We're waiting. We back? We back? We back, chat? But with a lot of hiccup, what does that mean? Oh, it went down? I know. Tell me if now it's good. Type W stream, chat. Okay, everyone typing W stream. Hiccups? What does that mean? W stream, well, on Twitch is good, I think. On Twitch we good. Double stream? What do you mean? Okay, I think we good, okay? All right, let me just recap what I have done so far, okay? I'm going to actually I think I'm going to do the full cloud thing again, okay? What do you guys think? So we can just, yeah, I'm going to delete this app real quick. I'm going to do the full cloud story again, okay? So we can see the full situation, okay? All right. I'm going to go here. Bam, delete this app. And I'm going to just create the app again, okay? Let's do that. All right, chat. Let's deploy the Symfony 8 application on Laravel Cloud. So Laravel Cloud always allowed you to deploy Laravel apps on it. I have a bunch of them, as we can see, but we are going to add the Symfony 8 application we just have created into Laravel Cloud. The first thing I'm going to do is click on create new repository. I'm going to go into my own organization, which is Nuno Maduro, and then I'm going to select this thing, call it Symfony 8 example. I'm going to select Ohio as a region and click on create application. Okay, this will basically just create my application under my own team right there, okay? So the application got created. The next step is really add a new database to this application on Laravel Cloud. So I'm going to click on add resource, add database. And I have this example database I have created already. So I'm going to use this example 8 database using Postgres 18 serverless, okay? Bam, bam, boom. I'm going to use this database and I'm going to save it, okay? Now, I'm going to go into settings because I want to make sure we are running on PHP 8.5, and we are not. So I'm going to change this to PHP 8.5 and save this change as well. So with PHP 8.5, we are running on serverless Postgres 18. We should be ready to go and see our app live. Let's click here on deploy and wait for the deployment to be completed. There's a few things Laravel Cloud will do, dude. Most of them are easy peasy, okay? So the first thing it will do is type composer install. That's the very first thing it will do. After doing all of that shit, which takes forever, we'll basically run your migrations using Doctrine. This is the equivalent of PHP Artisan Migrate. Really just works, okay? Really just works. Type WStream if you guys are having fun today. But of course, don't forget, like this video and subscribe to the channel. Now, the deployment is almost over. And as you can see, it worked on the very first try. It worked on the very first try. We can see the deployment output if we want to, which is almost over. It just ran literally the Doctrine migrations. We have a database and it's deployed. So what we can do now is click on visit to see the website online. Still not online for some reason. Oh shit, what is that? What's happening? Let's go into environment, visit. Oh, here we go. And it's online, working as expected with 0 articles yet, but it's just working. I can log in, go back, boom, 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 boom. Really just works. Let's create our first user real quick. Okay, so let's type here PHP. Nice detail, by the way. Detected that this is a Symfony console, so it just prefixed this shit with PHP bin console. So how do I execute this command? We saw that, right? We saw that. Share the link. Yeah, let's share the link. Here we go. Here we go, chat. This is the link for you all, okay? This is the link for you all, okay? Now, we need to create the admin user. Let's do that. Let's go here into create admin. Okay, I need to type app create admin real quick. Let's do that. The admin will be something you guys won't see. Bam! Wait a couple of seconds here. Let me go here and put 123 as a password once again. Yes, yes, yes. Oh my God, here we go. 123. Let's put here something like this, okay? So I just created the admin. So the console command ran successfully, thank you, meaning the following. I have a user, I can log in as that user. So let's go here and type my own email. Let's type my password and type sign in. Oh boy, yes, I have a dashboard. I can create an article. And let's create the article title. The title will be subscribe this channel if you enjoyed the video. And like the video. I'm going to put here and like the video too. Love you all, chat. Okay, let's create the article. Bam, it's created. Let's go back to PHP News and we see the article list. Here we go, chat. What do you guys think? Symfony in Laravel Cloud or not? It's really just working. I'm happy with the result today, chat. That was awesome. That was a long stream, chat. That was a very long stream, but I had a lot of fun. What about CI/CD? That's a very good point. So the way I run my Laravel Cloud applications, the way I like to run my Laravel Cloud applications is that I have GitHub Actions, okay? And then I trigger the deployment through the deploy hook. So I enable this on Laravel Cloud to call after my GitHub Actions, and this will deploy my app to production. Okay? How about your project that makes CI 100 times faster? How do you know about that? That's top secret situation. Where did you define your .env vars? So Laravel Cloud will inject most of them for Symfony. Okay, so we have Symfony people doing that on Laravel Cloud. So that's why we don't need to fucking even do anything. But the environment variables will be at general settings. You go all the way down. In here, you customize your environment variables. Okay. Okay, this is how you customize your environment variables. Really just works, man. So if you are a Laravel guy, develop and deploy on Laravel Cloud. If you are a Symfony people, just consider Laravel Cloud because it really just works. Boom, boom, boom. Good stuff, man. All right, chat. I want to kind of close it here. That was a very nice live stream, by the way. I really had fun. Hope you guys had fun too, okay? Before you guys leave, don't forget, put like on the video, subscribe to the channel. Let's actually rate someone on Twitch as usual. Nice stream, I had fun. Me too, man. That was like back in the days, man. A bunch of code. That was super fun. All right, chat. Catch you guys next Monday. I hope you guys have a beautiful weekend with your family. Make sure to have fun. Catch you guys next Monday. Love you all. Peace out. Bada boom.